All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Cincy. Day 3 already. What? Day 3. And we're watching Eala taking on Ruse to start the day. And then we got Djokovic after this as well. And then we'll go from there. A lot of big matches. A lot of seeds are playing. Well, half the seeds are playing today. We do have rain around. Not currently, but it's going to rain at some point probably. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be on and off. I don't think it's going to rain like for hours on end, but even 20 minutes of rain could be a problem for a while. But we'll wait and see. Hopefully we avoid it. But we are prepared. No worries, Deb. This is my first time watching Ruse. Nice. Well, enjoy. But yeah, this should be interesting. These two played a couple of years ago in the qualies of the US Open, and Ruse got the win in 3 sets. But as we keep saying, lots changed in the last 24 months, 18 to 24 months with Eala. So it's not the same player. Back then, Ruse was I think probably, has she been top 50? Maybe she was top 50. Help me double check. And then injuries and a bit of a slide down the rankings since. So yeah. And Eala, of course, has gone on to do what she has done. It's interesting because Ruse, back in the qualies of 2024, she beat Eala and qualified. Ended up qualifying for the US Open. So it wasn't just... And there was a final round of qualies too. So Eala was this close to making her Grand Slam debut. She was up a set. And then Ruse comes back to win in 3. So she was this close to qualifying for the US Open that year, which would have been her first Grand Slam event. Ruse went on to play... Where is she in the draw? She went in to play Grabber in the first round and then actually beat her and then beat Krejcikova. And then ended up losing to Badosa in the third round. So actually had a pretty good run as a quali. Beat Krejcikova, who was number 8 in the 8th seed at the time. She beat Badosa. She played Badosa, who was number 30 in the top 30 at the time. And was this close to beating Badosa. So yeah, really took advantage of that quali run. I think she was one of the better qualies of the tournament too. So again, took Eala out and then went on a run. So again, you look at that and you go, okay, maybe just a bit of an unlucky draw for Eala qualifies. Maybe she goes on that run and we hear about Eala, 6 months earlier than we did. But now they're playing 2026 and a lot's changed. A lot more pressure on Eala because she's number 20 in the world. She's been on an amazing streak. This is a match that she's expected to win, right? These are the matches that the top 20 win, most of the time. She's always going to be the favorite. Now, the winner of this match will take on the winner of Sonmez and Anisimova, which is happening at the same time. So we'll be keeping an eye on that as well. So the winner of this will take on Sonmez or Anisimova. If you're an Eala fan, of course, you want to play Sonmez head-to-head, well and truly in favor of Eala. It's a better matchup. You don't want to play Anisimova, who's got the big game. So, it should be interesting. We'll track all of that as we go. And then, as I said, Djokovic coming up. We've got Kaboli coming up. Who else is playing today? Zverev and Norrie are playing later, which feels like that's going to go for 4 hours for 2 sets. Hodar's playing today as well, which is interesting. We'll track him because of his foot. If that's all right. If he's all good. Noskova, Pagula, Demonor all playing today. Lehechka's playing today. Feast is playing today. Busy day. Penko is playing today. Bencic is playing today. So yeah. I don't know what we watch after Djokovic. It's kind of open to suggestion. We might watch some stuff tonight. I don't know. But it depends on what you guys are thinking. Can Bolter beat Noskova? Sure. Why not? I mean, Noskova's got to win, right? She had an upset last week, so she kind of needs the win. Remember, this is the last tournament for a lot of these players before the US Open. So this is a last chance for a lot of players to get form. Who knows? Not many of them are playing next week. They're all getting ready for New York. Eala always gotten a very tough draw, but I believe this will help her further develop her game. Well, yeah, that's a good way of thinking it. Yeah, I mean, she's going to get a tough draw just because the WTA is tough as well, right? I mean, we talk about how stacked everything is and how busy, how no one, I mean, we said this yesterday, no one on the women's side has an easy draw anymore. Everyone's got a tricky draw. I think, yeah. I mean, there's just tough players everywhere. Eala's number 18 in the live rankings. If she maintains that position until Tuesday, she will become the highest Southeast Asian player in the WTA. Like ever, or just at the moment? Who's the current highest ranked? Wait, you mean currently? Who did she overtake? Or do you mean of all time? I'm guessing you mean of all time. By the way, there is a little bit of a rankings perk if she does finish top 16. Oh, sorry, if she finishes in the top 16 of the rankings, which is possible because Mboko is out, so she's already number 15. If she's a number 16 seed or higher, she does get to avoid certain plays in the draw. Like, she won't play Anisimova or Kostyuk or Svitolina or Swiatek or Osaka or, I mean, a lot of those players she's beaten, or Jovic. She'll avoid Jovic for a while, probably to like the quarterfinals. So, yeah, there's a little bit of a rankings boost if she does finish top 16, because the way it works out is that the top 16 don't play each other for a long time in the draw, so she will avoid a lot of tough plays until the the quarterfinals. There is possibly, she could play Mertens in a third round or Keys or something like that, but she avoids playing Raducanu, Sabalenka, until like second week. So that's a perk. So that's a little bit of, and it's not necessary. She doesn't need to finish 16 doesn't have to avoid them, right? She's beaten a lot of those top players anyway. But that's just a little bit of a bonus prize if you finish top 16. Also career high ranking, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. Oh, wow, really? The highest ranked Southeast Asian player of all time. There you go. Nice. Eala needs Kostyuk revenge. Maybe. I mean, she's not playing Kostyuk anytime soon, I think. Thank you for covering this. Sorry, it seems you're sleepless today. Yeah, I already went to sleep. For 5 hours, and now I'm here. I barely slept, but it's fine. I'll sleep later. I'll have a nap in the afternoon. So yeah. So that's what's on the card. And then, of course, the winner of this match will play the winner of Anisimova versus Sonmez, but then the winner of that match could play Noskova. So it is a tough draw from Eala's point of view. Anisimova and Noskova are obviously really dangerous. You've also got Stearns and Towson in there as well, and of course she famously beat Towson last year at in New York. So yeah, and then there's Pegula or Castella or Kalinskaya and Navarro. So yeah, the quarterfinals, it could be a rematch with Pegula, but long way to go. Especially on these courts. This is not like Canada. Canada was slower, right? And remember, Eala played at night pretty much every single time. So nighttime, it's going to be slower again, right? So this is, I don't know if it's much faster than it used to be. Cincinnati used to be, like even 2 years ago, was just like super lightning quick. So like all the big servers, all the big hitters would win, right? I don't know if it's as fast now. I think they slowed it down, but it's still quick. It's quicker than Canada. So if she does play Anisimova in the afternoon on Monday, that could be very, very awkward because Anisimova hits the ball super hard. If she plays Anisimova on nighttime, which I think will probably be more likely, right? Because Anisimova is American, they'll probably put her on Monday night. That could help Eala slow things down. So yeah, Drake is having his injury season. Are you saying Drake or Draper? You talking about Drake, like the singer? Does he play tennis? I thought Eala was injured. Well, she has had. I don't know. It's strange with Eala. It seems like she always has. Not always, but she has a lot of the time. She does seem to be carrying some sort of injury, but she never lets it. She never withdraws, but she always plays. So either she's got precautionary tape on all the time, which is fine. That's normal. A lot of players do that. Or she's just fighting through injuries every time, which is kind of sketchy to do that. But, you know, her team wouldn't. I mean, she went to the Rafael Nadal Academy. Her coaches wouldn't force her to play. They know that this is a marathon, not a sprint. That winning at 21 years old is, you know, but the detriment of your body is not worth it. So if she's playing, she must have gotten the all clear. There's no way she's playing. They're letting her play injured. So she didn't play this tournament last year. I think she pulled out. I think it was because of injury. So she didn't play this last year. So here she is for the first time. But yeah, you just hope that all of this tennis isn't too much. But I guess after this, she's got nothing to do. So like not much. There's not much going on after this, right? We've got the Asian Swing, which starts sort of 2 weeks after. I mean, there's nothing after the US Open, so she can rest after the US Open, I guess. But that's just, again, that's a, yeah. I mean, the thing is, you just don't want you don't want her to go into New York and not be 100%, because what's the point of doing all these warm-ups if you're not going to be ready for the big show? But we'll find out today, because today's going to be physical. Ruse is a great retriever. We watched her against Lynette the other day, and she played very, very solid. Hey, Neil, thank you for the gifted membership. Appreciate that. I hope her ankle is healed. Yeah. I don't think it was bad. She said in the press conference it wasn't that bad. It just was a little bit uncomfortable. So we'll see if, look, pardon me, it's been like a week, right? Since that, so we'll see. What's my prediction for FAA City Pass? I mean, look, if FAA is healthy, he should win, but I don't know. Do you remember Ruse Keys Australian Open last year? I do. I don't think we watched it, but it was pretty crazy. Somers will upset Anisimova. That'd be fun. That'd be interesting. Oh, that'd be very interesting. Eala's playing Singapore. Is she? When's that? Don't tell me that's straight after the US Open. Oh, good. No, it's not. It is not. All right. She's playing. It's a week after the US Open. Yeah, that makes sense that she's playing Singapore, I guess. So wait, okay, so hang on. Okay, so she can't play the Southeast Asia Games. Oh, sorry, the Asia Games. I just checked this. She can't play because she's got to play Beijing because that's mandatory. Yeah, so Eala's not eligible to play. Well, she is, maybe she's eligible to play, but she can't play the Asia Games because she has to play Beijing. because I just looked at the schedule, and the schedule says, so if she's playing Singapore, then she'll go to Beijing, then Wuhan, and then whatever after that. But that means like the Asia Games are happening during that same period, so she can't play. I don't even know who's playing. I mean, Zheng might be able to play because she might not be high enough ranked to get into Beijing, but you can't skip Beijing because it's mandatory. Wuhan is not mandatory, I'm pretty sure. But Beijing is one of the biggest tournaments in the world. It's one of the mandatory events. So she can't, like, she can skip it, but it's also at a detriment to her year. Like, she could, she'll get penalized through points and prize money, potentially. So, I mean, she can skip it, but because let me have a check. I'm pretty sure. I'm certain that Beijing is one of the big event. They're one of the mandatory events. Or maybe not. Plus, she's also, it's ranking points. Like 1,000 points on the line in Beijing. That's a big chunk of points to not attempt to win. Yeah, so there's 6 mandatory events: Indian Wells, Miami, Madrid, Rome, Montreal/Toronto, Cincinnati, and Beijing. So those count towards your ranking. If you don't play one, you get a big fat 0. And if you get a 0, then you and especially if she does well at the US Open, she might be a chance of qualifying for the WTA finals. So if she's in the race for the finals and in like serious contention to qualify, or even just to be an alternate, why would she play? I mean, she has to. I don't know. It's a tough decision. She will play the Asia Games and skip China. She wants to win gold, she said. Okay, but I mean, look, there will be a decision that needs to be made, because after the US Open, she could be like number 11 in the race to the finals, and if she can qualify as an alternate, why would she? Probably would. Winning gold is great, but also she won gold at the Southeast Asia Games. But then also, like, does she want to qualify for the WTA finals? That's a big deal too. Like, there's a decision to be made there. Hang on one second, chat. I forgot my tea. All right. They should be starting in about 10, 15 minutes. She can request exemption. I don't know if she can. Maybe. Will she defend her Guadalajara 125? I don't think she can do that either. Also, I don't think she should, to be honest. Like, Eala is at the point now where she's beyond, and I don't want to, she's beyond challenges. She shouldn't be playing them, and she shouldn't be defending them. Like, she's beyond that. She's better than that, and it's not worth it. Because winning a 125 gets you 125 points, but 125 points doesn't move the needle in the rankings, right? So, like, playing a 125 challenger event, which I don't know if she's allowed to because she's top 20 anyway, and there's a rule, top 20 players and playing small events, there's a bit of a rule. So, but I don't know why she would waste her time playing it when you could go play something bigger, and you might only have to win 2 matches to get the same amount of points, right? Like 125 points when you're top 20 doesn't change. It doesn't hurt your ranking, but it doesn't help your ranking, right? So if she lost those 125, she wouldn't drop out of the sky. But if she wins that 125, it doesn't do anything to make it doesn't improve her ranking, right? So she's more likely to go play Guadalajara 500 event, which is obviously worth way more. But if she's playing Singapore, that also is worth way more, right? So, like, if you're playing a 500 event and you make it to the quarterfinals, you've basically covered the points. So you win 2 matches and you've done the same as what you would if you won a whole tournament at a 125, right? So why would you go and play a totally different tournament and work so much harder when you could just get to a quarterfinal of a big event and, or maybe a semi or improve that, right? If you get to the final, you triple your points. So, yeah, I would be, and as we've seen this, the last couple of weeks, worst case, she goes and plays a 125 and gets hurt. It's like, why was that? What a waste of time, right? If she gets injured, that would be terrible to play those events and not, that wouldn't make any sense. In 2028 Olympics, 2 years from now, Eala will be at peak. Yeah, that'd be fun to watch that in LA. Eala's on the list for the Asian Games. Okay, well, she'll have to make a decision after the US Open how that works. Your thoughts on Eala should join the Asian Games or not? Like I said, I think it would depend on what happens at the US Open. If she's number 10 in the race of the finals because she had a great US Open, and then she gives up playing a 1,000 event, which is worth a lot of points, I don't know. I feel like that it's like she's got to make the choice then. Do I play the Asia Games where she could win a medal, right? Win a gold medal, which is great for Philippines, right? That's a great choice. Or do I try and get into the WTA finals, which is the best of the best at the end of the season? Now, she's there's more chance, well, not more chance, but you play the WTA finals every year. The Asia Games are once every, 4 years, right? Is it? Or is it every 2 years? So, it's harder to win. It's harder to do the the Asia Games. But then also it's pretty hard to get into the WTA finals. So it's but if she's not in the hunt for the WTA finals spot, then go play the Asia Games. Don't play Beijing. It doesn't matter. But if she's right there, not playing Beijing would basically she wouldn't qualify because that's going to be so important for her ranking. So that's why I think she'll make a decision. She should make. Look, she might have already made the decision, right? She might have been like, yeah, I don't care about my ranking for that tournament. I'm going to do this. And that's fine. Because there could be an opportunity next year and the year after that she could qualify anyway for the WTA finals. But if I think if she doesn't have she needs to go far at the US Open, quarterfinals to probably realistically put herself back in, putting herself in that top 10 anyway. But yeah. So I think there will be a decision to be made. But if Eala doesn't, if she's number 15 in the race of the finals, going to Beijing, go play the Asia Games. Go win gold, right? No brainer. But I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit more of a discussion if she's top 10. And you're like, hang on. You're not far. If you do well in Beijing, and get to the semis or final, that could give you a boost. You could qualify. I don't know. I think there's just a little bit more of a conversation, or at least it's not as easy as just well, yeah, I'm not playing this because of she'll have to consider ranking points and stuff. But again, I think this is more of a post US Open discussion. Because I think if she plays the Asia Games, she'll be the favorite to win, right? I mean, I don't know who. If Zhang is playing, maybe it'll be a tie between those two. Chen, I don't know if she's playing. I'm not sure who is playing else other than Eala if she plays. But last time there was Chen. There's a lot of Thai players as well that are kind of going off right now, so they might jump in. Yeah. Raducanu and Osaka could play. Well, they're not going to play. They never played. Osaka's never played Asia Games. Raducanu technically could play, but she's never played. So it would be Eala and Zheng would be the two big players. Yeah, Raducanu doesn't play. She never played Asia Games. And I guess it kind of feel weird for her because she's Russian born, so playing the Asia Games, even though technically she can because she represents Kazakhstan, it's like it would be I feel like for her it would be kind of a bit strange to be from Russia and playing playing the Asia Games from imagine if she won the Asia Games as a Russian player. That would be a bit, I don't know, that'd be a bit weird. I don't know. Like I feel like people would be upset with that, you know? And I'm sure she doesn't. Look, it's not worth any points. Plus, if we're talking about Raducanu, what's more important for her? Ranking points or the Asia Games? Ranking points, right? Because she could be number one. So she'll go play Beijing because that's helps her ranking. And she's never played the Asia Games before. So, like, why would she start now? It would be strange for her to be like, oh, yeah, now in my mid to late 20s, I'm going to go start playing this tournament that I can play. But I don't think Raducanu is probably. I mean, she'll be more focused on the Olympics in 2 years, where she nearly medaled last she nearly medaled in Tokyo. All right, now chat, Cincinnati, you need to learn. Cincinnati, you need to watch Canada because what have you done? I'm looking at how many people are there. This stadium is going to be packed, and they put her on court 3. Now it's only 1,000 seats smaller than court 2, but that 1,000 seats they could sell like this. So Venus had a packed stadium yesterday on that same court. This court is smaller, and why would you not put Eala on the biggest court you could? We saw Canada do that. Canada were like, yeah, she's going center court every day, even doubles. Like they were just like center court, center court, center court, and it worked every time. She never played in front of an empty stadium. And here, Cincinnati are like, yeah, play on court 3. It is a tiny court. There are people, the seats are already full. Like there's like people are standing around. They've messed up. They messed up. She better win though, because then they'll go, oh wait, hang on, maybe we should have put her on center court. It's gonna be chaos. It's gonna be like the Australian Open where they put her on court 6 and everyone's like walking around like a line around the circle, around the outside of the stadium, and you're like, dude, why'd you put her on court 6? They don't learn, chat. These tournaments need to learn. Now, I'm not saying put her on center court because I know, what, you kick off Djokovic? I mean, no, but still, like, what are you doing? You got to put her on the biggest court available that makes sense. It's a full house, yeah. There is not a seat left. And I'm sure there's going to be a queue around the block to get in. Oh, they didn't learn. They didn't watch Canada. Canada was look. I know there's people here that probably are like, oh, I don't get this whole Eala thing, but Canada was so good with it. Like Canada were like, shit, and yeah, okay, there's that like connection with Toronto and Philippines stuff, but like they knew, they were like, yeah, we're gonna put her on center court. We're not gonna miss. We're not gonna muck this up. Cincinnati have gone. We're gonna put her on court 3. Why? Why did you do that? That doesn't make sense. This is a mistake. Now, like you've created a problem now. They won't do this again. They'll put her on center court even if she plays Sonmez. They underestimated the Philippines in Cincinnati. Yeah. What? Like that's insane to me. That's brutal. They never learn. Tournaments never learn, chat. They will. They will. They have to learn the hard way. They didn't watch Toronto? Yeah. Maybe they thought Eala Mania was a Toronto thing. Nope. It's been happening for 18 months. Do you think Diamond can beat Hallis? Yes. Some Filipinos said they'll drive from other states, actually. Oh, yeah, that exactly. Like, I think they underestimated the commitment of the Eala fans. Like, they're going to travel. Like, they'll drive. They're not, if they're in another state, they will get there. They will even come from Toronto down. I mean, I think they underestimated the Eala mania. Or the Eala effect, right? That's like the popular buzz term. All right, here we go. Ruse walks out first with a big smile. God, it's got to be intimidating playing in front of Eala crowds. Not that they're scary, but just like it's going to be an intense moment. All right, Eala walks out and the crowd go wild. Yeah, people standing around. Chat, why do the tournaments do this? Why do they do this, chat? They messed up. They've messed up. My prediction for this is a close straight sets for Eala, but I think it's going to be a physical one. I think it's going to be a physical one because Ruse does. She can defend really well. She is tough. Course not fully packed. What are you watching? What are you watching? I'm seeing people standing in the back. They can't even get in. All right, here we go. There are literally people standing around. What do you mean it's not packed? Are you serious? Bro, you're watching something else. You're watching a different court. What are you talking about? They're not packed. I can see people standing around. There's no seats. I can't even see a seat. What are you talking about? Not packed. What are you watching? You're watching some other court. You're watching a different match. What are you watching? They'll learn. Cincinnati will learn the hard way today. They'll learn. It is packed. It is packed. It is packed. People standing around. I think the court is only half full. What are you watching? What do you mean half full? Hello? Half full? Where? Chat! Stop doing this. You're doing this on purpose. You're doing this on purpose. You know it's full and you're just trying to troll. Stop it. There's no way. Like, you can't not get into this stadium. Are you serious? And the crowd's gone wild. Cincinnati, why did you put this on this court? Why did you put this on a bigger court? What are you doing? Organizers scouted Philippine community in Cincy. Yeah, and they made a mistake. They underestimated it. People are standing around. Exactly. It's crazy. It is insane, the crowd. Standing room only. Yes. Exactly. Full house. Yep. They won't make this mistake twice. They'll put Eala, if she wins this, she'll play the next match, even against Sommes. They'll put her on at least court 2. At least court 2. All right. Here we go. Let's see if Eala can continue this run. And get revenge, because, she did lose to Ruse and probably wants to get that one back. She's been getting a lot of those kind of revenge wins of late, so let's see if she can get this one back as well. She beat Parks last week. She's she's obviously taken out Swiatek after losing. She's taken out Raducanu. Who else has she beaten? Pegula, Fernandez. Who else? Am I thinking missing anybody that she's beaten that she lost to first? Zhang as well in Washington. So yeah, she's been getting those the losses that she had early in her career, or even just like last year. How many seats are there? I think 3,000 seats, 4,000. Center court has 11,000, and I think court 2 has about 5,000. So extra 1,000 seats for the next stadium up, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, they could have filled it like that. Like, it would have been sellout. Where are you watching? My provider shows Anisimova. WTA TV, but I don't know if that's worldwide. Yeah, Court 3's got 4,000. Court 2 has 5,000. And then Center Court has like 11, 12,000, something like that. All right. Last few serves. And then we're going to get this party started. Let's see if Eala can continue the run. Now, Eala does have a busy week pre-US Open as well. She's playing exhibitions, doubles. She's playing the mixed doubles, so she does have a lot to do pre-US Open as well. But doubles is not that stressful, especially the mixed doubles. It's not for her. It's more just have some fun. The organisers out of their minds putting an Anisimova match to an empty court, and then Eala on a Stadium 3. Yeah, but look, yeah, I get that, but also Anisimova's American. You got to put the locals on the main courts. You can't like bump Anisimova. If she was playing an American Eala, let's say she was playing against, I don't know, Stearns, different story. But because Stearns versus Towson is literally the night session, right? So like if she was playing an American Eala, she wouldn't be here. She'd be on the big court. But I guess they just couldn't justify, or couldn't, like, maybe they were a little bit scared. Like Canada were like, we don't care who she plays, we're putting her on center court. I don't care if she's playing against, a Romanian or somebody else. Like, they did not care. Canada were like, we're putting her center court. And it worked, right? Cincinnati might have been like, we got a lot of Americans. We need to, like, give them a chance to play the center court. It's their home event. So I don't mind that. But I do think they should have put her on court too. All right. Who cares, though? She's here, and we're going to see what happens. Eala's going to serve. This could be a bit grindy. Ruse is stubborn. Ruse is feisty. So let's see if how this goes. By the way, Eala does not have tape on her ankle. Her ankle is fine. So that's good. Or at least she doesn't have tape on it. So that means it must be fine. She still has that elbow patch, which, again, has been there for weeks, but doesn't seem to change her game. Who you got, chat? I'm going to go Eala in close straight sets. As Ruse return, goes in front of Eala. Ruse, 4-1 on the stretch. As Eala, 4-1 cross court. Ruse gets back with a slice. Eala on the attack already. As Ruse with a passing shot. Eala volleys it away. Great rally to start. 15 love. And Ruse's serve is not going to be a problem. Like, it's not going to be like, playing against Noskova, right? Ruse's not got the big serve. Just trying to think of this matchup is sort of like. I'm trying to think who she played lately that's sort of a similar. I mean, kind of like Pegula, a bit like Pegula, but like not as accomplished as goes in the net by Eala, 15-0. Not as like Pegula's number 3 in the world, right? 15-0. Cam Norrie and you have the same first name. Yes. Correct. You got it spot on. $15. Yep. As a return goes in the net by Ruse, 30-15. Great observation. Yeah, that was a good one. No, 30-15. And Eala serves again. The back end of Ruse. Oh, return winner. All right. 30-all. Great return. Beautiful backhand winner. Humidity's high. Yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy out there today. 30-all. As Eala serves. Into the front of Ruse. Eala backhand. Into the front of Ruse. As Eala backhand again. Is a winner cross court. Beautiful shot. 40-30. 40-30. Can we watch Norrie Cam? Okay. I don't know. Zverev versus Norrie feels very... I don't know what it is, but that match doesn't really fill me with excitement. That fills me with dread. Like, we're going to be here for a while. Set up a tent. We're going to be here for a while. We're camping overnight for that one. It's going to be a long one. As the return goes in the front of Eala, back in Ruse. Into the front of Eala. As Ruse, forehand up the line, is a winner. Ooh, Ruse's come to play. Deuce. All right. We did watch her play Lynette, and she kind of destroyed Lynette. All right, deuce. As Eala serves again. Into the back of Ruse. Return the front of Eala. Ruse backhand the backhand of Eala. As Ruse forward again to the backhand of Eala. Eala in the net. Advantage Ruse. Break point. All right, advantage Ruse to take the break. Say Rose's come out here swinging. She is not letting Eala bully her. No, Rose's kind of like Osorio. And Osorio played Eala in the Philippines at the start of the year. So that's sort of the play that, you know, she's feisty. She's not going to take a backward step. She can defend really well. But she's not going to be intimidated or bullied. Backhand return, the front of Eala. As we're backhand out from Ruse. Eala backhand cross court. Ruse gets back with a forehand, but overhits it, and we get to deuce. And she's not going to let this crowd affect her either, I don't think. She's not going to be bothered by the noise, yeah? Deuce. Sommes breaks Anisimova already? What? Oh, it's a shame these matches are at the same time. I really wanted to watch Sommes and Anisimova as well. Unfortunately, their schedule was unkind. All right, return goes in the front of Eala. Eala hits it out. I tell you, Ruse is returning very well in this first game. Advantage Ruse. Does Tarandy have a chance against Novak? Tarandy's been playing well. So maybe, but probably not. Not in a hard court. All right, advantage Ruse. By the way, chat, we're almost at 1,000 likes already. Don't forget to like the stream when you walk in. As a return from Ruse, very awkward. Eala gets it back as they hit moonballs. And then Eala comes to the baseline and attacks. Ruse gets it back. Eala forehand cross court in the net. Wow. And Ruse's like, I'm sorry, I shanked that, but that was a great shot. I'm going to take it. All right, break to start. One love. Ruse means business. Yeah, she is looking scary. All right. It's funny because she kind of plays like Alex plays against everybody else. Like she's going after the returns. She's sort of, a little bit unpredictable with the way that she's sort of playing. She's sort of, but she's also beaten Eala, right? So she has that confidence of like, well, I played you. I'm not scared of you. I know how to play you. And I'm sure that back in when they played 2 years ago, even in the qualifying, I'm sure there was probably a pretty good crowd from the Philippines, because we saw last year when she played in the main draw, Eala, it was a stacked crowd. So I'm sure they went to the qualies. So Ruse's probably like, yeah, I played your crowd before. Like, I played against you and your fans. But again, Ruse's not intimidated. And she has nothing to lose, right? I mean, She is the underdog here. She doesn't have, like, she's not here. She doesn't have the pressure that Eala has, right? But she also hasn't got a massive serve, so there's a chance of a break straight away. And she hits a great serve, though. It's a great serve for Eala. All right, 15 love. Serve. There's a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the back, forehand of Eala. Eala on the net, 30 love. Serve again from Ruse. Out wide, the back of Eala. Return is good. Too good. All right. Great return from Eala. 30-15. Serve again. There's a fault, second serve. Ooh, double fault. All right. Eala a chance to get back the break, or at least get a break point. Ruse is going to smoke Eala today. I don't know about that, but maybe Ruse's Eala's kryptonite. Guys, it's one love. It's okay. Relax. We just started. It's too early yet. Yeah, literally. We just started. 30-0. It's one break of serve in the first set. It's nothing. It's not 5 love in the second or anything. As a return from Eala goes to back into Ruse. Eala forehand. Into the forehand of Ruse. Eala backing up the line. Ruse gets it back with the backhand cross court. Eala forehand again, the backhand of Ruse. As Eala forehand goes again to the backhand of Ruse. Now Eala on the attack with a forehand. Cross court again is a winner. And Eala gets the break point, 30-40. To get back the break straight away. We're going to have some good rallies here as well. All right. 30-40. Break point. Serve is a fault. Second serve. Eala steps in. Second serve. Into the forehand of Eala. Return the backhand of Ruse. Eala backhand down the middle. Ruse gets it back to the forehand of Eala. Backhand of Ruse again. Goes in the backhand of Eala. Cross court the forehand of Ruse. Ruse in the net. There's the break back. I tell you, these two are hitting pretty clean though. Like, they're hitting very nice. We're going to have some long exchanges. Give me some fun rallies. All right, 1-1. 1-1. 1-1. Maybe Eala needs to skip any tournaments that Ruse is playing. As Eala hits a drop shot winner. 15 love. Now I know you're trolling. Bro out here doing nothing. What are you doing? 15 love. As we to serve. Into the front of Ruse. Ruse in the net. 30 love. 30 love. Love. Serve again. There's a fault. Second serve. As the return goes in the net, 40 love. Yeah, so Sommer's up 2 love with a break already against Anisimova, which is impressive. 40 love. As the yellow looks to lead. First says a fault, second serve. Serve to the forehand of Rose. Return winner. All right, nice. 40-15. No AI art so far. Not yet. All right, so. Yeah, but don't worry, I'll make sure I tell you if I see it. All right, second serve. Serving to the forehand of Rose. The backhand of Eala. Rose backhand cross court. Eala goes up the line with the forehand. Rose on the stretch gets it back, but Eala makes her hit a backhand, and then Eala comes in. Hits it straight to Rose, who hits a passing shot long, and Eala leads 2-1. 2-1 in this first set. All right. By the way, chat, we're almost at 1,000 likes already, so thank you for that. Don't forget to sub as well if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 320,000, I guess, at the end of the year. Oh, God. Is that iced tea? Yes, it is. Yeah, I was looking good. Yeah, she's looking solid. But Rose, look, and this is, we'll see how long it lasts, but, Rose is definitely competitive in this for sure. I mean, this is a match. Why would he drink iced tea in winter? Why wouldn't he drink iced tea in winter? I mean, is you not allowed to do that? Is it? I don't know. Is it seasonal? I don't know. There was rules.
Ruse is really a tricky player. She almost took out Keys last year in Australia. Almost took out Rybakina in Madrid this year.
Yeah, true. That's true. Thank you for the donation.
Thanks, Cam. I love watching with you and the chat.
Hey, no worries, Saint. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining. Yeah, Rose is legit. She is no joke. I'm glad if Rose is competitive. Okay. Really looking forward to Novak playing shortly. Well, he's playing after Anisimova and Sommer, so we might have to do a doubleheader with Novak, but that's fine. I'm prepared. I am prepared. By the way, chat, did anybody see the Doomsday trailer? I'm so pumped for it now. That was crazy. That looks crazy. When he said that line at the end, I was like, oh, I want to go see this movie now. Really badly. Let's go see it. Comes out in December. That's my holidays. I might not be around. I have to see it, though. Crazy. All right. Nice return winner by Eala. Also, Anisimova just broke back. Yeah, the Doomsday trailer. Avengers trailer. Avengers. It's crazy. Love 15. Have I seen Spider-Man? Yeah, I saw it when it came out a couple of weeks ago. Well, someone in the stands. By the way, it's super humid out there. Someone in the stands is. Oh, they're Jesus! They're grabbing their feet. Are they all right? Wow, that was intense. Why did they grab their feet? Yeah, someone in the crowd. It's super humid out there. Super dangerous. No, we're just gonna wait for the attention in the crowd. Hopefully they're all right. It is hot out there. Yeah, someone passed out. Yeah, that's scary. They released another trailer this morning. Yeah. Epic. Looks crazy. Yeah, heat exhaustion. Yeah, it is warm out there. Nissimova, by the way, is taken back the break. Look at Sub-Bears. What's the commotion in the crowd? There's someone's just needing medical attention. It's way too hot out there. Yeah. All right, everything's all right. They're getting treatment, so hopefully that person's okay. It's hot. I mean, everyone's got a fan, and they're. I mean, it's a packed stadium too, so like everyone's like crammed in there, right? All right, as we get a fault, second serve. Serving to the front of Eala. Return is a winner. Love 30. She's settled in now. Love 30. As we get a fault, second serve. Second serve. Double fault. She's hit 2 double faults in each game, Ruse, so far. Can't afford to do that. Not against Eala. Love 40. Break points to take the break and lead. Love 40. Serve. Into the front of Eala. Return the back of Ruse. Eala forehand up the middle. As Ruse with a forehand cross court. Eala gets it back with a backhand. Ruse on the forehand goes long and wide, and there is the break. Eala 3-1. Takes the break. All right, 3-1 Eala. After a shaky first start. Upgraded with soundboard. Haha. Are you asking me to upgrade it, or are you saying it's been upgraded? Sure. 3-1. All right, serve from Eala. Serving to the front of Ruse. Return goes into the front of Eala. Ruse with a backhand pass. Too good. Ruse plays a lot of doubles, so coming to the net, you got to be good. Ruse can pass just easily like that, especially on that. It wasn't a greatest approach. As we serve again. There's a fault, second serve. Sleepless night again in the Philippines. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that her next match will be on in the morning for the Philippines. I'm not surprised because, I guess they're trying, they put her on as early as possible to make it the best for the night for the Philippines. Like you guys, it's Saturday night, right? So staying up late on Saturday. It's only 11. What is it, 11 o'clock? But I think the next match on Monday will probably be a night session. As we're to now from Ruse's a winner, love 30. If she plays in Nisimova, it'll be definitely a night session. There's no way they're not going to cash in on that blockbuster, right? Love 30. All right. Serve. Into the forehand of Ruse. Return goes forehand of Eala. Ruse backhand in the net. 15-30. Was it a mistake having Eala on a smaller court? It always is. Always. And they'll learn that now because this stadium is packed and people are standing around trying to get in. So Cincinnati they'll know now. They'll realize now that they might have made a mistake. All right, first there's a fault, second serve. Serving to the backhand of Ruse. Forehand from Eala, the backhand of Ruse. Ruse hits it long, 30-0. Eala trying to keep that break. A lot of tennis going on at the moment. A lot of matches. So Kapoli's up 4-1 against Kecmanovic. Felinska's up 5-1 against Buksha. That is a great start. And the other match that's important to this one is a 3-2 for Anisimova. All right, 30-0. Serving to the backhand of Ruse. Return is wide. And Eala goes to 40-30. That was a 71-mile-an-hour second serve. But Ruse couldn't attack it, so it was good enough. Serve is a fault. Second serve. By the way, chat, we're this close to 1,000 likes already, so thank you for that. We've got Djokovic coming up next. And then after that, I have no idea. As the return goes to the backhand of Eala, forehand from Ruse is a winner. I'll tell you, Ruse is giving Eala some of her own medicine on these returns. She's like, I can attack your serve as well. Deuce. As Eala serves again. Good serve from Eala. Advantage, Eala. I didn't even notice that Penko was in Iga's quarter. Yeah. Yep. All right, advantage Eala to go to 4-1. So Nisimova's up 4-2 against Sommes now. I tell you, Anisimova versus Eala is a very interesting match because Anisimova does get affected by noise, and Anisimova does get stressed out a lot, without even the crowds against it. But if she's in America and the crowds are making noise for her opponent, Anisimova might get stressed by that. Anisimova does sometimes let things the things that are going on in the court get to her. 4-1, so it could be really Yeah, it's gonna be a really interesting match if that's the one we get. And at the moment, it's gonna be what we get. All right, 4-1. Eala keeps the break. But it's been a tough start to the match. All right, how are we doing, chat? Where are we watching from? Chat, where are we watching from? Hey, we got to 1,000 likes. Let's go. Where are we watching from? Ugh. Yeah, Hodar's playing later. By the way, chat, I went to like antique stores yesterday, and I found a whole bunch of VHS. It was great. Titanic, Jerry Maguire, The Witches of Eastwick, Air Force One. It was great. It was a good find. It was a good day. And I also ate Eggs Benedict, which was delicious. All right, so we got Vancouver, Abu Dhabi, North Carolina, by the way, Germany, Canada, California, London, Japan, Glasgow, Orlando, Edmonton, Seattle, Singapore, Chennai, Ontario, South Dakota, Vietnam, Philippines, Chile, Northern Ireland, okay, Singapore, okay, New Zealand, Afghanistan, we've got Saudi, we've got Sacramento, New York, Geneva, Croatia, Madrid, Malta. All right, Rose to serve. Eala's got the break. She's won 4 games in a row. As Rose serves a fault second serve. Right, Mississippi, Hong Kong, San Diego. There's a serve in the back of Eala. Return the nets. 15 love. Cambodia, Dubai, Sydney. As we return now to the front of Rose, backing up from Eala again. The front of Rose. Rose in the net. 15-0. We've got Canada, California, Boston. As we serve it while the back of Eala return into the back of Rose. Eala forehand on the stretch goes in the net. 30-15. As we serve again. One guy has a Romanian flag and a Filipino flag. As with a 4-4 rally that goes out by Rose. All right. There was an opportunity there for Rose. She had Eala beat, but she overhit it. 30-0. Right, Singapore in the house. Las Vegas, Italy. Niagara Falls. El Salvador. All right, 30-0. First serve's a fault, second serve. Fix the scoreboard. It's 30-0. What are you talking about? Second serve. Into the back of Eala. Return the front of Rose. Rose in the net. Eala 30-40 to get the double break and serve for the set. All right. 30-40. Served on the tee, the back of Eala. Return goes short. Rose forehand straight to Eala. But Rose hit it long. And Eala has got a double break. 5-1 from 5 games in a row. All right. 5-1 Eala. And after literally a shaky start, It has been Eala. Also, Nisimova's got set point. Rose facing a different Eala now? Oh, yeah. For sure. All right. Rose hits it out, 15 love.
Thanks, Cams, for Alex. Cover. Rooting for Alex with.
No worries. Well, she's doing well. Thank you for the donation. Also, thank you, Meow, for becoming a member, and also Neil for gifting a membership. Appreciate it. Thank you. 15 love. Backhand Rose goes in the net. 30 love. $30 love. It's funny because the Sonmez match is so similar to this one because Sonmez was up 2-1 with a break and has lost 4 games in a row, and Rose was up 1 love with a break and she's lost 5 in a row. Well, I mean, maybe it's not funny, but they're very similar. 30-15. Eala hits it long. All right, Nissimova takes the first step. And Nissimova Eala, that is a banger. That is a banger. As Eala serves into the forehand of Rose. And Rose hit it long. 40-15. Eala to take the first set. $40-15. As we default second serve. Second serve into the forehand of Rose. Eala backhand again, the forehand of Rose. Rose hits it long. There's the first set. Eala, 6 games in a row. And takes the first 6-1. Pretty comfortably. I mean, there was definitely some moments. But, yeah, once Eala got settled after that first game, it was all her. All right. Hey, thank you, Onan, for the gold coin. And thank you, She, for the super sticker. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mark, for the $2. Appreciate it. Thank you for all the donations. All right. Rose's gone to the bathroom. Is Rose throwing the game? No. She's being outplayed. Oh, I'll tell you though, I genuinely interested in the Eala. I think it's going to be really fun, like that match. If we get that match, it's still a long way away. But Eala versus Nissimova is that's really that is that. But for those who want Eala versus Sabalenka, Eala versus Nissimova is the closest thing, one of the closest things you'll get to her playing Sabalenka, because Nissimova plays a very similar way. Sabalenka is obviously a little bit more all round, right? Can volley and stuff, but yeah, Nissimova Eala is a good test for Eala for eventually to play Sabalenka, right? Whenever, in the future. So yeah, great. And also Nissimova, how's she going to deal? Because this is going to be on center court. It's going to be prime time, most likely. That's going to be a very interesting matchup. And a winnable match for Eala. I don't think it's not an easy match at all, but I think a winnable match. She can beat Raducanu on a grass court. Why couldn't she trouble Nissimova, who has had losses to some strange losses this year to players that are lower ranked than Eala. Nissimova Eala will be center court full house. Oh yeah, at night. I'm 100% sure it's nighttime. There's no way. I mean, unless Unless Anisimova says, I want to play during the day, and they go, we'll let you play during the day. I would be very, very surprised if Anisimova and Eala was first thing in the morning. The crowd could affect Anisimova. Yeah, for sure. That could be an issue. Do you think Eala can qualify for the WTA finals this year? What's her chances? I'm going to say not this year because it's very competitive. I mean, Swiatek just won Canada and she might not qualify, right? So, I don't think so. It's a pretty tough. This year and last year have been some of the two of the toughest years to qualify, right? I mean, I'm looking at the race of the finals now, and Swiatek is still 700 points away from being in the top 8. She's not even in the top 8 yet. She's just won a big tournament. Even Kostyuk. Kostyuk's made 2 semifinals of Grand Slams and won a 1,000 event, and she's not even in the top 8. She's number 9, right? So, Noskova won Wimbledon, she's number 8. The Wimbledon champion is barely in the top 8. That's crazy. Like, that's very, I mean, and then you got Eala's sort of, 15? And she's had a phenomenal year, but top 8 is so hard to get into. Could she be an alternate? Like a top, well, I mean, even that's looking hard now because she is 1,000 points behind Swiatek, who's number 10. She's 15 in the race to the finals. She has to win Cincinnati to basically get in there, right? So, yeah, unlikely. Unless she makes the final of the US Open, and then that gets 1,000 points, so that could help. But, yeah, it's unlikely. I think if you're an Eala fan, look, she's already had, even if the season ended tomorrow, and this was her last match of the year, great year, right? And then next year, the goal would be to improve. But if she stays in the top 20 and ends the year in the top 20, that's to celebrate, right? If she finishes 19 in the world or 20 in the world, that's an achievement. Next year final, not next year. WTA finals would be a bonus prize, but it's very hard to get into. This year, it's hard to get into. Even Noskova is out of the top 8. She'll get in with Wimbledon quality. Well, that's true too. If Noskova drops out of the top 8, then being number 8 won't be enough. You have to be number 7. So that sucks too, right? Yeah, this year's very hard to qualify. There's going to be some players that don't qualify this year that we know have had a good year and they still didn't have a good enough year. Like Swiatek and Kostyuk. Well, Kostyuk has had a great year, and she's not even in the top 8. And you go, well, she's had a great season though. She's been amazing. Yeah, but not good enough. Which is weird because her record this year has been amazing. All right. Rose serving first and the second. So, yeah. So, I mean, and look, don't worry about that. I think for Eala, it's about trying to win another trophy, right? There's plenty of trophies still left to win. She could win another title and finish top 20. That would, maintain this ranking is probably the hard part now. Try and stay this ranking. Try and finish top 10. Finish top 20. All right. Nice winner by Eala. 15-0. Finish top 20 and then next year she can, Australian Open, she's got, plenty of, she lost first round this year, has lots of points on the line, no points on the line, and then push towards top 10 at the start of next year. That would be probably my thinking if I was her coach. As Ruse with a 4 in the net, 15-30. Also, Sonmez has got the break in the second. 15-30. Alex with so much product endorsement, she doesn't need to win a slam. Yeah, but we're not talking about money. 15-30. Look, no, I don't think anyone's saying, like, she needs to win a slam because she's broke. That's not what we're saying. Second serve. Into the forehand of Eala. Forehand from Ruse. Again, the forehand of Eala is Ruse backhand. Into the forehand of Eala is Ruse with a slice. Eala slices it back. As Ruse cross-court forehand winner. Beautiful shot. 30-all. The ball goes flying into the crowd. 30-all. Endorsements go away if you start losing? Not always. There's exceptions. I think Eala might be an exception to that. I don't think Eala's sponsors are going to drop her the second she, when she inevitably loses 2 matches in a row. Look at Raducanu. I know she won a Grand Slam, and that's obviously going to be something that, Grand Slam champion forever, but I don't know. Eala, there's definitely players that doesn't matter where their ranking is. They're always going to be the face of they're going to be the face of things, right? All right, Eala with a great forehand winner, 30-40. Osaka's the same. Yeah, there's a lot of players that, there's a few players that it doesn't really matter what their ranking is. They are going to always have that. They're going to be marketable. Eala is definitely going to be marketable. It doesn't matter if she's 100 in the world at this point. Right, should be on every billboard in the Philippines, no matter what. 30-40, second serve. Second serve. Into the back of Eala. 4 now from Ruse. As Eala back up the line, Ruse backhand cross court. Goes wide, Eala breaks. And it's 1-love in the second. 1-0. Dasha would have become a good coach after retirement, maybe after 5 years. Why would Dasha retire? Why would she do that? Why would she retire? All right. How about Zheng? Yeah, Zheng's a great example because Zheng's on like the cover of magazines and she's like 100 in the world. Zheng is another example. She is very, very popular. Without her results being that good at the moment. Hey Naz, thank you for the $2. Yeah, Zheng's another good example. She's getting she's still getting plenty of press. Thank you for whatever that was. All right. Return goes out by Rose, 15-love. $15-love. Eala serves again. Into the forehand of Rose, return the net, 30-love. 30-love. $30-love. As a return goes the net from Rose again, 40-love. 40-love. to consolidate at the break. She serves a fault. Second serve. Rose looks tired. Yeah, it's pretty tiring. You need to reach out to Alex's team for a podcast interview or something. Yeah, but I've said this before. I don't really do interviews. As that backhand goes wide by Rose, it's 2-love. Plus, if you want to see Eala in an interview, there's about 700 of them. Every podcaster and their mum have done an interview with Eala. So go check that out. I'm sure there's nothing I could say to her that would add to the conversation. I'll tell you, though, I would love... She keeps winning, though, so we'll never get her on live. But I'd love to have any player wanted to come onto the stream. And that's way more fun than, like, doing an interview. Like, super informal. Like, interviews are too, like, stuffy, right? They're like, oh, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions and you're going to answer them. It's like, that. I'd rather it be like, come hang out. And we'll just talk about, like, I'll do this. And then we'll just be like, hey, like, you know, you've played this person. What's up? Like, that would be way better. Way better. Trust me, chat. Way better. Than me being like, so, how's your tennis? Like, that'd be boring. Everyone does that. Look at what Andy Roddick and they've all done it. They all watch that. They've all interviewed Eala. Right? But she keeps winning, so she'll never be free to jump on a live stream. She's too busy. 15-love. As Rose in the net, 15-all. All right, 15-all. Rose serves again, and Rose starting to get angry now. She's getting pissed off at what's going on. She's been playing well, Rose, but she has nothing to show for it. Look, she hasn't even held serve yet, but she's been playing okay. She's just making too many errors. She hits a win at that time, but there's been times where and now she's starting to slap herself in the leg. She's like, yeah, that's more like it. 30-15. She's actually been all right, Rose. But the score says she hasn't been. Yeah, she's lost 8 games in a row. She hasn't held serve, so clearly frustrated. But she has been all right. Like, she's been competitive in these times. All right, as the return goes in the front of Rose. But Rose hits it long. Just making too many errors. 30-all. Thirty-all. As a default second serve. Okay. Serving to the forehand of Eala, backing at Rose. Goes long. All right, Eala 30-40 for the double break. Cam, what can you say about Alex's pre-tournament press conference with over 200,000 views already? That's great. She's popular? I guess that means she is popular. And, I mean, that's not shock to me. We've been watching her for 2 years. All right, return goes the backhand of Rose. Forward from Eala is a winner. Double break. 3-love. What a strange question. What do I think about another channel's 200K video? I don't care. By the way, it looks like it's going to piss down rain as well. And I said it's going to rain. It looks like it's going to rain. Center court is getting... I'm looking at the Anisimova match. It is dark out there. Like, it's getting grey. Even Eala's looking up going, oh, shit. I'll tell you what, if we can get through this match with Eala, we've got Djokovic coming up later, but Djokovic won't be on until after Anisimova. So it's kind of they're racing against the weather at the moment. It is going to rain today. It is going to rain. All right. Rose's just getting some treatment on her leg. That is what's up. Ian.
This channel is the best. Trust me, lol, ... Let's go, Alex.
That's it. Trust Ian. Thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. Not a paid actor. That's an organic comment. I did not tell him to say that. All right. Thank you for the donation. Can't that rain please come to the UK? Yeah, can you please go to the other side of the hemisphere? The north? Have I tried Filipino food? I haven't. We don't have... It's weird. I can't find any around Australia. Or at least in Melbourne. I can't find any. I'm just going to have to go there. Yeah, Rose's getting her right foot attended to. So, I don't know if it's an official timeout, but we'll see. I wonder if she knows it's going to rain, so I don't think she's delaying, but I mean, if it started raining now, she probably wouldn't be mad. Cam, what can you say? Your channel has 318k and you're currently live with 6,000 viewers. Yeah, that's really cool. I'm very surprised. I don't know how this has happened. Hard work and dedication to the channel. I'm having a midnight snack. Great. There's no roof in Cincy. There is no roof. They did renovations. They forgot to build a roof, which is very interesting. Thanks, Neil. Appreciate that. All right, medical timeout for Ruse. By the way, thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to sub if you haven't already. We're almost at 319k, so thank you for that. We're trying to get to... Well, the goal was 300,000 by the end of the year, and we've smashed it, so I don't know what the goal is anymore. The goal is 1 million by the end of time. I don't know. 1 million would be crazy. That's a long term. There's no Jollibee in Australia, no, which is a shame. I really would like to eat it. And this over, by the way, is nearly up a break in the second. But Nissimova is winning. Yeah, we're heading towards that clash. Let's go. That's such an interesting match right now. And Nissimova's got so much pressure on her for towards the US Open. It's a great opportunity for Eala to get another top 10 win. But it's not going to be easy. And Nissimova is a very powerful player. All right, Rose's just getting her foot taped. Her right foot. Hey, thank you, Dominique, for the 5 gifted members. Appreciate that. How many subscribers have we had since what you live stream Eala's games? What, for the last 2 years? How many subscribers we've gotten? I don't know. But we watch a lot of players, so it's not just Eala, but I don't know. There's plenty of authentic Filipino food in Sydney. Maybe I have to go to Sydney. I don't want to go to Sydney. Oh, no, I want to go there. All right, Rose. Got her ankle taped. Let's see if that helps. All right, Eala with a double break. 3-love in the second. I'm sure I can find somewhere in Melbourne that has Filipino food. There's just none around. But there's probably some in the city, if I went to the city. I'll find something. I just haven't had the chance to go find something because I don't live in the city. The city is not close. All right. Eala, 15 love. $15 love. As with a serve. There's a fault. Second serve. I think Cincinnati made a hard-headed decision. The expense of the building of a roof wouldn't have been worth it because they don't lose much revenue when it rains. Yeah, I got to be honest. I think that any tournament that has any renovations that doesn't build a roof for those renovations is going to be behind the 8 ball in 5 years, 10 years. By the way, it's starting to rain. They were very quick to suspend play. It's not even raining that bad. Is there lightning though? Or maybe it's lightning. Maybe it's lightning around, so they're not going to play because of the lightning. I think the umpire might have. There might be lightning and stuff, so they're like, we gotta leave. Yeah. Yeah, it's not raining, or at least it doesn't look like it's raining, but I think it might be because of possible I mean, it is going to rain. Oh, it says here, inclement weather approaching. Seek shelter. All right, so it's not raining yet, but they know it's going to rain, so they're like, everybody get out of the court, run away. So they're just trying to, and that's smart by the tournament. It's not raining now, but it's going to rain, so they're like, you know what? Seek shelter. Get out of here. And it's pretty packed stadium, so they don't want everybody to like rush out and go crazy. So it's going to rain badly for time. God, we were close. I mean, it was always going to rain. Eala, I mean, this is perfect for Ruse. This is great for her. But yeah, there is some heavy rain coming. It's not going to be long. It's not going to be that long though. It's only going to be probably like 5, maybe 20 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. But it's going to be brutal. For at least that, and that's enough to make it too wet to play, and it's going to delay the tournament probably about an hour, I'd say. Apocalypse going, yeah. But yeah, they've just given it to everyone. Nobody's leaving. It's like, no, leave. It's going to rain. All right. But yeah, this is good for Ruse. I mean, rain gives her an opportunity to regroup. Yeah, definitely advantage Ruse for this delay. She needed it more. And this is over, and Sonmez is also stopped. But yeah, after this, we should be all right for the rest of the afternoon until night session, and then nighttime it's going to rain again. Apparently, yeah, it's only going to be It's only going to be passing, right? I'm looking here, and we're going to have it's going to go crazy for maybe 20 minutes, and then it should be okay. This will not be a long delay. Sorry, it won't be raining for a long time. It won't rain that much. Sorry, that's not true. It might rain a lot, but it's not going to be raining for a long period of time. It's only going to rain really hard, really quickly, and then we should be all right. But that's still going to be 30, 45 minutes. Yeah, it hasn't started raining yet. They've just given everybody a chance. It says due to lightning, so there you go. Suspended due to lightning. So they just don't want to, they want everybody to, yeah, they want everybody to take shelter because of the storm that's approaching. Yeah, it won't be. I don't think it'll be a long delay. It'll just be a. It'll be like a short, sharp, like downpour, and then we'll be sweet for probably in about. I mean, it'll probably rain for about 20 minutes, I'd say, and then they'll be out there cleaning the courts, and we're probably back in like 45. But we're not going anywhere. We're going to stick around. We're not going anywhere. It may be raining, but I got nowhere to be. I can sleep now. Eala will win for sure, dude. Don't say that. Don't you do that. Many have come into the stream and then come back the next day and gone, I went to bed, and when I got back, the result went back the other way. So, go to sleep at your own risk. That's not a threat. I'm just I'm not threatening you. I'm just saying, like, take a sleep at your own risk, because if you wake up and the result and it turns out to be match of the year, then you're gonna be angry. So don't don't sleep at your own risk. We're not going anywhere. Good. Pegula and Alex game were suspended for 6 hours. They resumed to the next day. That's true, but that's not going to happen today. Today, they're going to come back today. This match will end today. This is not going to be like Washington. Like I said, it's going to be a short, sharp shower. Enough that it's going to be a delay for probably about 45 minutes, and then they'll come back and finish this match. Also, it is lightning, so they're telling the crowd to go take shelter, and they're doing this way. Like, could they have kept playing? Of course, they could have kept playing, but then they didn't want it to like rain, and then everybody's running for cover and going crazy, and then there's a lot of people there. It could be dangerous, all that stuff, Especially if there's lightning in the area. That's super scary and dangerous. Why am I under the rain? Because it's raining. I don't have an umbrella. Reschedule tomorrow. They won't do that. They'll come back today. They'll be back in like an hour, maybe. Are we going to give songs about rain again? I already did that. Well, they just put a cover over on the camera. Well, how the hell are we supposed to see if it's raining if you cover the camera? You should create a lightning graphic delay. Wait for it. 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 Super.
How often has someone won Cincinnati and gone on to win yes?
I have no idea. Serena? Good question. I don't know. I'm not sure. Usually it does have lightning. I don't know why it's not lightning. Usually we have like lightning and thunder and stuff, but it's not working. Yeah, I don't know. I think Serena was the last player. I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head. Maybe Swiatek? No. Who won? Maybe did Sabalenka do it a couple of years ago? Cincinnati, and then won the US Open 2 years ago? Maybe. Alcaraz last year? Yeah. I think they meant on the women's side. Why is the TTS muffled? Was it muffled? Could you not hear that? Hang on. Did you not hear it? That's weird. Shouldn't be muffled. I don't know.
How often has someone won Cincinnati and gone on to win US Open?
Can you not hear that? I heard it loud and clear. Coco 2023. Ah, yes, true. So it happened a lot. How many times? A lot. A lot of times. Is Alex looking solid? Yeah, she is. Patiently waiting as always. That's it. That's all we can do. It's not raining yet. Or is it raining now? It says no play for about 25 minutes. So no play for at least the next 25 minutes. Alex has the momentum. Yeah, I don't think this will drastically affect Eala's momentum. It'll help Ruse try and figure it out to try and come back, but I don't think Eala's going to be that bothered. It's not going. I would be very surprised if it derailed her momentum. Ruse will put up a better challenge when they come back. I would hope, but I don't think it's going to completely ruin Eala this rain delay. Shubham.
Gauff in 2023 and Sabalenka in 2020 for one Cincinnati and US Open.
There you go. 2 examples right there. Thank you for the donation. So yeah, it's happened. That's recently, and it's happened a lot, or it's going to happen a lot more in the future. Cincinnati does feel like it's the tournament that mates. It is the more important one out of the 2. Now it's raining. People are running. Now it's raining. Apparently, no one has ever won the Canadian Cincy double. Really? No one? That's crazy. On the men's side, 2023 Cincy champion won the US Open. Djokovic. Wait, yeah. Did Djokovic play Cincy? Oh, yeah, he did. He beat Alcaraz in that epic final. He did. When will they restart? They're coming back in about 30 minutes. Is the current situation. About 30 minutes. What happened if players required to play a 1,000 and refuse to play not because of injury? Will they get fined? So I don't know what the rules are for the WTA, but for the men's, you basically get a 0 because this is a good time to talk about the rankings. So the rankings are made up, and if I'm guessing you're talking about Eala and you're referring to the Asia Games because we were talking about that earlier. Is that what I'm going to assume that that's what you're referring to, right? Is that, what if Eala plays, what if Eala doesn't play Beijing, right? Let's just go with that. So the WTA rankings are made up of the 4 Grand Slams, right? 6 mandatory 1,000 events, which include Cincinnati, Canada, Rome, Madrid, Miami, Indian Wells, and Beijing. And then it's also made up of what is it? What's the next one? The best mandatory event out of Dubai, Doha, and Wuhan. So not all 3, but the best out of those 3. So if you do, you win Doha, but then you lose first round of Dubai and Wuhan, then Doha is the one that gets put in that spot, right? So 7 of the 1,000s are counted. And then it's the best 7 of everything else. So if you have 7 other results, let's say you win Washington, then you get 500 points for that. And then let's say you make a quarterfinal of Dubai, right? And then you get points for that. And then, so that's what it's made up of. So you've got 4 Grand Slams, you've got 7 1,000s, and then 7 of the rest. 18 tournaments total, right? That's what your ranking is for the year, for 12 months. If you don't play a mandatory event, so if you don't play Beijing, especially Beijing, then instead of you winning in Dubai and winning a different 1,000, that doesn't count. You're going to get a 0 for Beijing. So if I can find it, let me see if I can find an example of anyone has anybody skipped a 1,000 this year? Doesn't look like. I mean, Mukova has with injury, But it hasn't. It's not showing on her ranking yet. It will show at the end of the year. But yeah, so if you skip one of those mandatory 1000s, Beijing included, that becomes a 0, which means that you've only got 17 events to make up your ranking for the year. So that's a big opportunity missed, right? Now look, there's players that play those events and lose early, and they get 10 points for losing in the first round. So what's 10 points or a 0 points, right? But there's also an opportunity to win like 300 points or 600 points, and a 0 compared to a 600 is a massive difference in ranking, right? Not to mention everybody else is going to be playing that event while you're not playing that event, so they're going to extend their lead over you. So they're adding to their total and you're not adding to your total, but you're getting penalized. So that's one of the reasons why. The other reason, now this is on the men's side, I don't know if this is on the women's side. Lightning is going nuts now. On the men's side, they've got this thing where if you finish in the top 30, you get bonus pool prize, which is at the end of the year, the ATP compile a prize pool, and every ranking spot between 1 and 30 gets a certain amount. So if you're in the top 30 at the end of the year, you get a bonus prize. Now, if you don't meet the requirements, which mean playing all the 1000s, you don't get to be a part of that. So for Alcaraz and Sinner and Djokovic, right, they didn't play Canada, and some of them didn't play Cincy, you don't get that prize. Now, obviously those guys, maybe they don't need it, right? And it doesn't matter to them. But that's something that also happens. I don't know if it happens on the WTA, probably something similar, but maybe a different, maybe top 20, I don't know. But on the men's side, that's another penalty, right? So you basically lose money. Not to mention all the prize money you would have won if you played, right? So that's sort of the penalty for not playing a 1000 now, or mandatory 1000. Now you can look back and go, oh, it's like, Djokovic doesn't care about the prize money, or the bonus prize. Who cares? And also his ranking is so good because he doesn't need to play 1000s. Yeah, okay, so that's a unique case. Sinner, he doesn't need to play. He's number 1 by a mile. He doesn't need the 1,000 points, and he's rich. Whatever. Okay, so it doesn't matter for them, but it does matter for like the number 17 in the world, right? Who 1,000 points would be a big boost to their total, and the prize money at the end of the year, bonus prize, would be great for their revenue and career, right? So it depends on who. Like, the exceptions are Djokovic, Alcaraz, and Sinner. But then most other players are going to be like, I need to play every 1000 because I need every point I can get, especially on the men's game, right? You need it. Like, everybody needs every point they can get because of Sinner and Alcaraz. But also that extra bonus prize is so important for their yearly earnings, right? So, yeah. So that's why the mandatories, and again, I'm probably missing some stuff, but that's most of the reason why they're mandatory. You don't get fined, but you do lose money. You don't get penalized points, but you do lose points. You don't make, you know what I mean? So it's not really like, if you don't play this tournament, we're gonna penalize you. They get penalized for not playing because they don't play, not because they. Does that make sense? Like, it's not like, I'm not playing Canada. Well, you better play, otherwise we're going to give you a fine. It's more like, well, if you choose not to play, you're really screwing yourself over down the track, if that makes sense. That makes sense? So same thing with like the ladies' side. If you don't play Beijing or you don't play Cincinnati, then you're wasting time. You're wasting a chance to make points, right? I know it's complicated. The rankings are not simple, but hopefully that made some sense. It's starting to rain. It's starting to rain a lot now. But yeah, we should be good after this. This afternoon, hopefully we're okay this afternoon to get through the rest of the matchup. We might only watch this and Djokovic, and we might not even be able to watch any matches after this. But does that make sense, chat? Does that make some does that make some sense? How about the WTA finals? I think it's a 500-point tournament. No, it's a 1,500 point. Oh, sorry, 1,500. You said that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that is. And on the men's side, I think it's like 17 tournaments count, and the 18th tournament is the WTA finals, or the ATP finals. So yeah, I think the WTA finals is counted extra. So that's bonus points. So yeah, that's like it adds on at the end. So it doesn't replace anything else. So it just gives you an extra. You get that extra boost. Grace.
Thanks, Cam, Cebu, Philippines.
No worries. Thank you for joining from the Philippines. What's up? Hopefully it's not too late for you. It's getting late now. Cam, you haven't told us who's your greatest men's tennis player of all time. Who's my greatest? Why would, that's not a question. Who's my greatest of all time? I mean, there's no opinions, it's a fact. But that's a silly question. It's Djokovic. And that's the right answer. Who's my favorite player of all time? Leighton Hewitt. Leighton Hewitt's my favorite of all time. Is that what you... But like, there's no like... The greatest of all time is not about opinions. Like, there's an answer. And it's Djokovic. And, but who's my favorite of all time? Leighton Hewitt. Leighton Hewitt's my favorite of all time. At least they're experienced rainfall. It hasn't rained in the UK for 3 months. So what, since Queen's Club? Holy shit. That's insane. Who is greater, Steffi or Serena, and why? Serena, because I didn't watch Steffi. So Serena. I feel like the ladies' side, there's definitely more of a debate. And it'll be forever, because unless somebody breaks their records. But I'll say Serena. Serena's got more slams. But I also saw Serena, and like, I saw her career. So maybe I'm a little more biased. Also, I'm not sure what the level of competition was for Steffi compared to Serena. So, did Serena have tougher competition? Did Steffi have? I don't know. But I say Serena is my GOAT. And I feel like that's more debatable for sure. You can say Steffi, and I wouldn't be angry. I'd be like, yeah. If you don't say Djokovic is the greatest of all time, then you like the others better. It's different. That's not the same, right? Steffi and Serena, you could definitely, and even Margaret Court. I mean, there's an argument for her too, right? To be who's the greatest. But on the men's side, it's Djokovic, and the others are just, like, you can love Rafa and you can love Roger, but they're not the greatest based on stats and facts. And that's Djokovic. Did I ever watch Jim Courier? No, that was before my time. Watching him got you into tennis. Awesome. Chad, who got you into tennis? Maybe some of you were like Eala, and that's awesome. Who got you into tennis? What tennis player? Leighton Hewitt got me into tennis. He was when I started to learn tennis back in the day. Leighton was the Australian player, so I took a lot from him. Well, not took a lot, but I watched him a lot. It was a massive inspiration. Agassi, Nadal, Becker, Federer, Hingis, Sharapova, Connors and Everett, nice. Borg and Mac, Serena, Kornikova, Nadal. Yep, there's no roof on these stadiums. No roof. Sampras. I wish I got to see Sampras Agassi before my time, but that would have been... I've watched replays of those guys playing, and I'm like, oh man, what a great rivalry. One of the great rivalry. What a fantastic rivalry. Eala, sorry I'm a noob here. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with being new to tennis, so that's great. Welcome. You'll learn all these names eventually. Like that's the best thing. There's so much to, if you really want to get into tennis, There is so much history that, and a lot of these names might not know any of these names, and that's fine. But like, it's yeah, that's a great thing about this game. It's got so much history. Barty, nice. Chang, Ivanisevic, McEnroe, Pat Cash. Yeah, I would have been a Cashy fan back in the day for sure. Edberg, Rafter, and Borg. Okay. Nalbandian, nice. Andy Roddick. Hingis. Rafter. Hingis and Sellis, love that rivalry. Nice. All right, it is pouring rain now. They think they're going to come back in like 15 minutes. That ain't going to happen. We're out for at least 30. The Sampras era was almost a different sport. There definitely wasn't more than 8 minutes in play. Yeah. See, I started watching tennis when it was baseline era. There was still some serve volleys around, right? You had Tim Henman still there and stuff, but yeah, I missed the entire serve and volley era. Federer obviously serve and volleyed a little bit. Hey, thank you, Jen, for the donation. Appreciate that. But I would have loved to see Sampras Agassi in live, like real time. Replays are still great fun though. Like they played some epic Australian Open matches. Is it possible to resume after this rain? Yeah. It's only going to rain for the next, like it's going to pass. It's only probably going to rain for like the next 10, 15 minutes. And then they're going to come out, dry everything up and go from there. But this is not going to be Washington. This is not going to be Washington. This match will end today and we will be back shortly. I watched Sampras highlights the other day. Never liked the player, but I loved his game. Okay. Kleister's got me really hooked into as a sporter. Nice. 6K still holding. Why not sing karaoke, Cam? I don't want to lose viewers, so I'll pass. But yeah. No play before 1:30 p.m. Really? Have they changed it now? So it's another 45 minutes, is it? All right, that's all right. Another hour, is it? That's all right. Have I been to the Australian Open live before? Yeah, I've been to the Australian Open a few. Hey, thank you, Kevin, and for the treat. Okay. Why is there a treat? It's weird. My dog's not here. And thank you, Blue, for the star and Dutchie. Make a poll for what? Monica Seles should have been the greatest women's player. Yeah, it's one of the what ifs, right? See, this is what I think though. If Monica Seles did play, and that horrible incident didn't happen, her and Steffi would have stolen each other's slams, and then Serena would have still had more than them. She would have been well and truly ahead of them. So, if you look at Monica, you can't just think that like Seles would have come along and taken everything from Steffi, and Steffi never would have won as many. She wouldn't have won. She probably wouldn't have won, 22, right? 22, but she still would have won a heap. Like, because you got to think that, like, look at Chrissy and Martina, right? They started, and it was all Chris Evert. She was beating Martina, and then Martina figured it out and flipped the switch, right? You got to think that if Monica was around, Steffi would have figured it out. It might have taken longer, but she would have figured it out. So yeah, okay, Monica Seles would have taken, while she was, she was dominating that era, she probably would have taken a few more years and she would have won more slams. And taken them off Steffi, right? So Steffi might have had like 4 or 5 less, right? But then Steffi would have figured it out how to beat Monica anyway. Like she would have gotten better again. to get them back, right? Steffi wouldn't have just been like, oh, well, you can have all my slams now. Like, you know what I mean? But then when we get to this generation, we would have gone, well, Serena would have, there's nothing that says that Serena wouldn't have had less than she has now. So, like, let's say Monica gets, okay, let me get this, okay, we're not going to go slam by slam, but let's just do rough numbers, right? Let's play the what if game for 5 minutes. Thank you for all the gifted things. So Steffi had 22, Monica had 9. Let's take 6 away from Steffi and give them to Monica. So Steffi's on 16 and Monica Seles is on 15, right? Serena still gets 23, right? Serena still gets 23. So it's still, then Serena would be well and truly the greatest player of the Open era. Margaret Court's obviously there, but she won a lot of Australian Opens in the amateur era, which obviously didn't have the world playing, right? So there's always that argument. But yeah, it would have meant that Serena was clearly the GOAT. And there wouldn't be a debate with her and Steffi. So that makes sense. So yeah. But I don't think Monica would have had 22 slams if she had played. And if that horrible incident didn't happen. I don't think she wouldn't have replaced Steffi, and Steffi had 9. No. She would have taken a bunch off her, but she wouldn't have she wouldn't have taken Steffi's, she wouldn't be number 2, 22 slams. Steffi would have still won heaps. Again, this is just rough numbers. We can one day go through every, okay, oh, well, Monica would have won that, but then Steffi would have won that, right? I mean, there would have been, Steffi would have won, and she would have gotten better. Everyone does, right? Every player does. Just when you think, oh, this person can't be beat, their rival gets better. And, I mean, look at Sinner and Alcaraz, right? They're going like this. Like, Alcaraz is unstoppable. And then Sinner goes, actually, now I know how to do this. And then he comes up here, and then Alcaraz is like, oh, Sinner can't be stopped. Alcaraz, it happens with Djokovic and Nadal Federer, right? They constantly improve. So of course Steffi would have improved. Had Monica had kept that going and that thing didn't happen, But again, Serena still would have, there's no reason why Serena wouldn't have 23, which would have been miles ahead of them both anyway, Yeah, I think people, and I know a lot of people like to say that Monica would have been the GOAT. And you're like, yeah, but you're just kind of replacing, you're taking everything from Steffi and assuming that Steffi would have just faded into nothingness. It's like, that's not true. Steffi's a champion. She wouldn't have let Monica just take her slam. She would have fought for them. She would have figured something out to elevate herself to another level. And, you got to remember that Steffi didn't win everything because Monica wasn't there. She won probably more because Monica wasn't there, but Monica wouldn't have replaced Steffi. Also, I don't know how many was Steffi on when that happened, though. That's another question, right? Was Steffi already on 15? I don't know. How many slams would they have contested? Because Steffi might have already been super established on the slam count, so that could change things again. Anyways. Steffi was a few years ahead. Yeah. Steffi retired at 32, right? She retired super young compared to these days. Still raining, but people are running around in the rain, so that's fun. Still super dark out there. Yeah, I think Steffi retired 30. She retired at a normal age. That's what people usually retired at back. Even the men, they didn't play until 35. They finished at 32. Playing after 35 has only become a thing because Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer were still so good at 35, but they also had each other to have to try and beat each other. So it's what are you going to retire at 35 and then give up your chance of becoming the greatest of all time? No. So of course Federer was going to push himself until his body said no, or until Djokovic and Nadal overtook him, which is what happened, right? And same with Rafa. He was always going to play. Like if Rafa was clearly the greatest of all time and had like a 5 Grand Slam gap over Djokovic, then Rafa probably wouldn't have played as long as he did. He probably would have finished at like 35 and gone, I'm good, right? I mean, look at Djokovic, right? He's struggling to win slams since he's gotten the record, right? And because he doesn't have those other guys trying to take it from him now, right? You know what I mean? So like, you got to, yeah, it's. I mean, those guys probably don't play as long as they do if they didn't have to. You can say love of the game and all that, which is part of it, but also like the motivation to beat each other was there at the start of this decade. It's gone now because 2 of them are gone. So there's no, like, Djokovic's motivations have changed. It's either winning, for Serbia, or it's just playing to try and test test himself. Also, you know what? There's probably motivation for Djokovic to keep playing as well because Messi, Ronaldo, LeBron, right? All of those guys are still playing. So to try and like be like, I'm 40 and I'm still like top 10, like that's a whole thing too, I think, showing that like all the athletes from these other sports are still going, right? LeBron keeps going, Messi keeps going, Ronaldo, I'm probably missing some. That's probably that about maybe a little bit of well, I can keep going too, right? And he's probably more like competing against them when it comes to like athleticism. Obviously, he's not going to compete against them, but you know what I'm saying? There's probably a little bit of that too, that like kind of like, athletic competition there and being like, who's the best athlete? Because Djokovic is the greatest tennis player, easy, but who's the greatest athlete at this age is debatable. And it probably is Djokovic, right? They all play team sports. Yeah, Connor's played late. True. Also, Ken Rosewall did back in the day as well. He's the oldest Grand Slam champion. So there was definitely exceptions, but most of the time, players didn't play past 35. Like, they weren't competitive after 35. Roddick retired at 30. I mean, you look at that and you go, shit, 30? Damn. But he just knew that he couldn't beat those guys. And he's like, well, what am I playing for? Hey, thank you, Kevin, for the hiding. Appreciate that. I think he's not retiring until he gets 25 slams. I mean, that's a nice number. It's a nice round. Like, it's a nice number. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, 25, great. But it's also like, if he retired tomorrow, I don't think he'd be crying over not getting 25. Why did Sharapova retire? Didn't you have injuries? Has the rain stopped yet? It is still raining. It is still raining. Eala will retire at 22. You wish. You wish. You gotta lock in. It's not too late to jump on the bandwagon. Actually, it is too late. It was, you have to be on the bandwagon at the end of last year. Sorry. We left the station 12 months ago. Sorry. Bandwagon's full. Bandwagon's full. Sorry. When she won that Sao Paulo Challenger, that's when the bandwagon left the station. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules, right? I'm just driving the train. Right? I just do what they tell me. Yeah, that guy just wants Eala to retire. Why? Hey, thank you for the sticker. What are they? The gifts as well. Appreciate it. Thank you, CC, for the jamming, and thank you, XR, for the W. Novak warming up tomorrow for tomorrow? No, they're going to play today. Well, Djokovic, I don't know, but chat. These matches will finish. This match will finish today. I got the hiccups. These matches will finish today. Mark my words. It's still raining a little bit. Hey, Neil, thanks for the gift of membership to Not. I don't know if they're going to get done tonight, though. Tonight might be a different story. But, yeah, I'm just having a look at the radar. So the radar says that it's going to stop raining within the next... I'll tell you what, the radar says the one thing, and I'm looking at the clouds, and I'm like, they say another. They're angry. That's an angry cloud. They're angry clouds. But it's... The worst is past. We're going to be good in like, where are we? Mason, right? Yeah. We should be sweet in about 20 minutes. Hey, thank you, Lauren, for the finger heart. Appreciate it. And it pops up in the chat too, which is crazy. I think, and chat, don't, again, I say don't go out of your way to purchase all this stuff. But like, I think it's the bigger the jewel thing, whatever it is, it shows up in chat. So if you do like a one that's like 200 jewels, then it shows up in chat. Again, I mean, look, do what you want. If you have jewels to spend, do what you want. But I think that's what I'm realizing is that. Also, I think you get like 50 jewels free if you go if you click on the little present next to the thing. I think you get 50 jewels free as like a tester. So feel free to do that if you want. What's this do? Does that do anything? Sparkles. Hey, Olsen, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome back. Yeah. Anyways. Hey, thank you, CC, for the laughing disco. And thank you, Dutchie and Dennis as well. Any result on the Sonmez Anisimov match? So currently Anisimov is up a set. I think it's on serve in the second. Pegula is confirmed to play Singapore. Is she? Okay. Yeah, it's a new thing on YouTube. Shout out to Dutchie for telling me. Not thundering. I don't mind sitting in rain if it's not thundering. Okay. Pegula won her first tournament 25 in DC. Yeah. Malaysia Open or Indonesia Open? It used to be. So the Asian swing in 2026 is Singapore, Seoul, Beijing, Wuhan, Ningbo, Osaka, Hong Kong, Chennai, Tokyo, and Guangzhou. So yeah. So no Indonesia and no Malaysia. Hey, thank you for the GOAT trophy, Scott. Appreciate that. That showed up in the chat. All right, people are walking around outside. That's good news. People are walking around. People are walking around. So that must mean it's safe. Do you think it's harder to catch Serena's Grand Slam record because it on the WTA? Because players are more fit and more demanding on the body to play long. I gotta be honest. I think it's gonna be hard for the men's too. Not because I don't know why I have this feeling, but I think that the next generation of players, right? I'm talking about Alcaraz, Sinner, and I don't think they're gonna play till 40. I don't know why I think that. I don't like unless because like I just said with with Djokovic, even with Serena, right? Serena's motivation was 24 and maybe it still is, right? She's coming back. There's a reason for them to to play this long because there's those goals that they're very close to achieving, right? If Alcaraz and Sinner are not close to 24 slams, why would they play? Like, if they can't achieve that, why would they play until 40? Djokovic and now Federer, like I just said, I think the reason why have been playing so long is because they were in a heated rivalry that with, GOAT status on the line. If Alcaraz and Sinner on, like, let's say they get to 30 years old and they're both on 15 slams, or 30, let's say they get to 33 and they're both on 15. That's still a long way away from 24. Like, they might just be like, you know what? I'm good with 15. Like, they might not, I'm not saying they won't be motivated, but I don't know. It just might not be as big of a deal for them as it was for Djokovic and Nadal, Federer, because they were literally in the heat of it, right? They were in the middle of it. Whereas these guys are competing against each other. I don't know. I don't know. And also, just because of like the way that Alcaraz is he takes a lot more time off, right? He's not taking time off now, he's injured, but he goes on those holidays because he needs those breaks, right? And I think maybe the next generation, even like we saw in Nissimova, right? She was taking time away from the game, right? And it's worked out well. She came back, she got this Grand Slam final. I think there's going to be players who are going to take more personal breaks, right? The more, it's not going to be like grind, go, as it was in the 2010s, right? And players might just choose, I'm going to have I'm going to go do something else, right? I'm not going to grind until I'm 40 and break my body and drag myself through the mud until, they might want to go do other things, or they might, like, it might not be, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why I feel like that's going to happen, but you kind of see it with like players taking personal time off from the game. Whereas like 10 years ago, or even 20 years ago, like if you took time away from the game and you weren't injured, it's like, what, are you quitting? What, are you retiring? But now it's like, oh yeah, it's way more acceptable, right? To take care of yourself, even if you're not injured, right? So I don't know. I feel like players are going to maybe put themselves maybe they'll put themselves first instead of like grinding themselves into the ground until their body falls apart. Maybe they're going to think more about like, oh, how am I going to feel at 50? Or how am my legs going to feel at 45? Maybe I don't want to get knee replacements at 45. You know what I mean? Like, they might just put them, maybe they've got one eye on the future. They're not thinking about like Nadal, right? He's like, I don't care. I'll play as long as I can. And I'm going to just like break my body. And, now he limps around and you go, that's the price you pay for greatness, right? I don't know. I don't know if players are going to want to do that. They might see Nadal and Federer and Djokovic in 10 years and go, wow, they look rough. And you go, I don't want to end up like that. Tennis is great for now, but I don't want to be like, I don't want to end up broken at 50, right? And I don't want to be limping around and shit, like, in pain. So I don't know. I just don't feel like these guys are going to play till 40. Like Djokovic was going to be an anomaly, right? And we're going to look back and go, man, Djokovic is the last guy to play till this age. The other guys take care of them. They might be like, you know what? I'm good at 32. I'm going to go enjoy my life. Okay. Which is why we've got to really enjoy what they do now, because you just never know, right? Barty retired at 25, right? Chose family, right? Yeah. We don't know what their goals are. We were all just thinking everyone's goal is to be the greatest of all time, and that's it. If you don't want to beat Djokovic, then you shouldn't play. But players have different goals. We don't know what their goals are. We don't know what everyone's trying to achieve. And when they achieve it, what happens? Like, are they going to keep wanting to go, or do they have another goal, or are they going to like struggle? Like, we don't know. It's stopping. The rain is stopping. We've got about 30 minutes until they come back on. They haven't started to dry the courts yet. Well, they're drying the court, center court. I think they might be about to come out and start to dry it up. Anyways, there's a great opportunity to yap. Speaking of yapping, Chad, I found some treasure. Woohoo! Did I find some treasure? Chad, I tell you, it is so easy to find things that people don't want. When you like things that others find strange, you can find things really cheap. So I went to this antique store that was actually closing down, which is super sad because it's a great place, and now it's not going to be a thing. And I'm on a bit of a VHS kind of. I'm looking for like just because. Okay, here's my reasoning. All right, I have to justify my hobbies. I'm not a hoarder. So I have if you don't know, I recently purchased a TV VCR combo, which I love. I think it's amazing. But I'm collecting a small bunch of tapes so I can play. But I'm only going to get like a couple, right? And just the big names, just because they look cool on a shelf too. So like the blockbuster movies like Jerry Maguire, Titanic, right? All the classics. And movies that I also think are fun, like this one, which also came from a video store. $4.40 for 7 nights. I could have bought this back in like 1990. So that is what I found. Also, I found Rugrats in Paris. Oh, there was a lightning there. By the way, chat, if you find Nickelodeon VHS tapes, they're orange because Nickelodeon colors. True story. So yeah, so that's what I found. I also found another Titanic, which is in a better condition, and then I found Air Force One, which is also from a video store with the stickers. I think this one actually is from Hang on. Oh yeah, this is from Blockbuster. I got this because it has this sticker on it. That's cool. So that's why I got this one. Warning, if this label is broken, you must purchase the video. Sure thing. To play is human. To rewind is divine. Anyways, so that was my journey yesterday. That was fun. Chat, what do you like collecting? What are your hobbies? Cam's I'm not a hoarder. Betamax is better than VHS. Yeah, I'm looking for Jurassic Park. I'm looking for Alien. Like, I'm looking for just like those, like, I got Independence Day already. Like, I'm looking for those, like, I just want a small collection of like the biggest movies, Back to the Future, right? That sort of stuff. I'm not going to get like obscure, like even just movies I like, or just like, because I don't have space for 100 different VHS tapes. Yeah, like Braveheart, yeah. Godzilla, yeah, just those like Matrix, right? The Matrix, that kind of stuff. Anyways, my hobby is collecting Grand Slams. Okay. Love that for you. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, those are the ones. Yeah, those movies. Rugrats is cool though. Yeah, I got that because I just like the color of the tape. And I know there's like I know Nickelodeon VHS tapes are fun to have. Yeah, The Godfather. Yeah, all those classics. All those classics. Collecting years, okay. That's interesting. I'm geeking out on upgrades for espresso making, steam levers, bottomless portafilters. Yeah, that's awesome. Lego, nice. I've got Lego too. I collect different sports cards since the 90s. That's good. Yeah, Men in Black and Spider-Man and Goonies. Yeah, all those movies. Please speak Tagalog. I do not know how to, so I'm sorry. I was into in a philosophical mood. Oh, okay. So what do you like to collect, Chad? Do you have like a collection? I like to collect money. Oh, that's boring. I don't know where to find it. Oh, okay. What happened to the game? It's still raining. Well, it's still delayed. It's still delayed. They're starting to dry the courts up, though, so we should be back hopefully in the next 30 minutes. VHS original tapes are good collectibles. Yeah, I think that is fun. They just look cool. But I've got a bunch of, like, I got, how many DVDs? I got like 1,200 DVDs, right? On shelves, right? And they're slim, so they don't take up much space. These are massive. But the thing about DVDs is that you can't see they're tiny. So, like, this is just like, you can tell that this is what it is, right? You can see it. Like, you can see this, you can tell the movie. So that's why I'm like, I just want a couple of them just for like an aesthetic. And to watch, obviously, but you collect cats, okay? I collect okay. I hope you're joking. I like to collect guitars, nice. I collect Lego, mostly Harry Potter, nice. I still have my original Hagrid's Hut 2000 Lego still. Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, all those movies. I found so many obscure horror movies yesterday that I was just like, I'm not going to get them, but there were some weird ones. I was like, that's fun. There's some weird movies out there that I've never seen before, and they're all on VHS. You need a rewinder for that? I do need a rewinder. That's on my list of things to buy. Cam loves Pokemon. Pokemon's alright. I like the games and stuff. It's fun. Will VHS still work? Like the tapes stick inside, right? No, they work. They should. Hopefully they work. I'll test them out. How does your DVD collection compare to your VHS currently? My VHS collection is like, I have 10. Like 10 or 15 VHS tapes, right? My DVD collection is vast. I have a lot. And Blu-ray. And CDs. I got a lot of CDs. I collect Japanese super robot figurines. There we go. How does... Yeah. The friends of Pagula teased her when she lost to Alex. They were laughing. Were they? I collect old PC games. Nice. Blu-ray is the best. Blu-ray is great. After watching Nightmare on Elm Street, I had nightmares. That is unfortunate, but that's... I mean, look, it's in the name. Plus, the players are earning a lot more, the same results as 15 years ago. Yeah. Blu-ray died fast? No, it didn't. Blu-ray's alive and well. Straight-to-video horror movies had a whole vibe, yeah. You collect people's hair. Yeah, he's in the chat. He's in the chat. Yeah, call the police. He's in the chat. Yeah, he's back. Yeah. Call the... Yeah. 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 Okay. Oh, yep. Hello? Yeah, he's in the chat. Yeah. Hair. Collecting hair? Yeah. Alright. Cool. Yep. Anyways, Old Dracula movies were classic, yeah. Bram Stoker's Dracula, yeah. That's on my list too. I already got that on DVD. I'm looking for Goodfellas. That's what I'm looking for. Goodfellas. Goodfellas is what I'm looking for. Is he a hairdresser? That doesn't make it better. That makes it worse. That makes it... Come on. You can't be like, I collect hair because I'm a hairdresser. No. That's not... That makes it... That doesn't matter. That's like I'm a dentist. I collect teeth. No, you shouldn't do that. Why? No. That's not okay. That's not... If my hairdresser said I collect hair, I'd stop going. Okay, you got my hair? What do you got my hair for? The hell? That's not okay. Why are you collecting hair? That's crazy. You need to stop. Get some help. It's all right. The police are on their way. Anyways, what do you guys... I collect pins from places that I've been. That's cool. That's cool. Goodfellas didn't do well in the 90s, but now it's a classic. Oh, yeah. I have to rewatch it. Love Goodfellas. Great movie. A dentist collecting teeth sounds like a horror movie. Yeah. Replace teeth with hair, and you got also a horror movie. All I'm thinking is this guy's the guy from Charlie's Angels when he like rips the hair out. He's like that's who I'm thinking of. I'm thinking you're Crispin Glover. Is that who it is? Crispin Glover from the first from Charlie's Angels 2000. And like he like rips their hair out and then he keeps it. I'm like that's what I'm picturing you right now. Is that you? Are you that person? Is that who you are? That's who I think you are. Scary. That guy's scary. Hey, thank you. Why so serious for the alert? Appreciate it. I collect fridge magnets from countries I've visited. Nice. I collect stickers from countries I've visited, and then I chuck them on a guitar that I bought in London. And then I put it on my wall. True story. It's on my wall right now. In about 20 minutes, they should be returned to the court. Yeah. So it's saying not for another 20 minutes before, like they won't play before 20 minutes from now, but they are drying the court. And the rain has passed. So we should be okay. But there is more rain on the way. So hopefully we can get through this match and the next match. But it's looking like 3-4 o'clock, it's going to rain again. And then tonight it's going to rain. So as long as we can we'll get through this Eala match. The Djokovic match might be a little touch and go, but we'll hopefully do our best to get through that without interruption. It's not up to us really, but hopefully we'll get through those matches, and then tonight we'll see what's up. Collect stamps and postcards. Nice. Tomorrow's schedule is probably on hold for now. Yeah, they're not going to give out the schedule yet because they might have to play some of these matches tomorrow, not these ones, but the later ones. They might play them later tomorrow, so they might have to play them tomorrow. I'm collecting sleep right now. Well, good luck with that. Can Eala win a Grand Slam with her slow serve? I mean, her serve is getting better. I don't know why. Like, I feel like the slow serve hasn't been an issue. She's played some big returners, so I think her serve is a lot better than it was. But you wrote that question 700 times. Your office is getting wet. I know. Crazy. There's a rain delay in my house. I collect money. Can you help me? Nope. That's begging. Can I request a song? A song for what? We're not doing karaoke. Where'd you get the tennis sofa behind you? Glad you asked. eBay. I got it off eBay. And I was able to afford it thanks to the people in the chat who donated back in Halloween a couple years ago. We accidentally started a fundraiser for the couch, and many people contributed to me to being able to purchase it. I was gonna buy it anyway. I asked the chat, should I buy this couch? And everyone's like, that's a crazy thing to do. You should do it. And then people started donating. Started with Deb started donating, and then everybody followed. And after like 20 minutes, we had enough to get the couch, and then I went and got it the next day. I had to drive 2 hours to go get it. It was a long way away, but worth it. It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Why is it barricaded? Because I have a dog, and she likes to jump. So, and my dog has got black fur, so it'll just completely. You'll see, the couch will change color. So I'm not gonna. It's to avoid that. I'm protecting this couch. I'm protecting the couch. If I had bought it with my own money, like if I had paid for it, maybe I would have been a little less precious. But because it was funded by most of the chat, I have a responsibility to keep it safe. Keep it in condition. So I'm not going to let my dog jump all over it. Where is Mia? She is still away. I'm hoping I might get her next week. I just got to coordinate a time between Cincinnati and life. Do I sit on it? Sometime. I mean, not recently because I've put a cage around it. It's pretty comfy. It's just very scratchy, so like it's not good to like lie down on because it's scratchy, but it's still yeah. Hey, thank you for the whatever that was. Thank you for the gift. Play's going to resume in 15 minutes? I think so. Maybe. Stop raining. The sun's not out yet, but do you have a problem with people collecting wigs? No. That's fine. Why are you getting so annoyed? Why are you being so aggressive? This person in the chat. Collecting hair, right? Chat, can we all agree that collecting people's hair from the ground, right? That's weird. That's a bit weird. That's look, I don't mind. Like, look, I don't think those people that you collect the hair from would appreciate that. Collecting wigs is totally different. That's a totally different thing. Because you're buying something that somebody has donated. You're not following somebody as their hair falls out of their head and grabbing it. Like, that's weird. Plus, that person was just joking. So we're obviously it was a joke anyway. They joked, I joked. We're all just having fun. Yeah. I'm sure they were joking, right? You were joking, right? Anyways, moving on. Who's your favorite player of all time? Leighton Hewitt. Why am I hating on wigs? Yeah, okay, you're missing the point. I noticed that Swiatek has a different style in a returning of serve. Really? Okay, I have to pay more attention. Sent you $1,000. Did you? When? Today? You didn't send me anything. So, sorry, you sent it. You sent the wrong address. That went somewhere else. I don't know what. Hope get it quick. Cancel the transaction. Yeah. I'm ignoring. Don't worry. They're the attention seeking is stopping. Inter Milan just beat United 4-2. Really? Okay. Interesting. What's everyone doing on the weekend? Chat, what do you got going on the weekend? What is happening on the weekend? $20 minutes past? Yeah, it's 10 minutes. They come back in 10 minutes. What's everyone doing on the weekend? Anyone got any fun plans? Hey, thank you, Razor. Appreciate it. Food delivered. Nice. Celebrating my birthday. Hey, happy birthday, Mia. Happy birthday, Alex, as well. Building a 3D puzzle. That's fun. Drinking alcohol outdoors. Responsibly, of course. Fixing my car. Watching Mr. Tennis. Who's that? Watching YouTube. 10 minutes is confirmed. Yes. Going to the beach. Hanging out with y'all. Hey, I love that. Road trip. Yeah, if you have no plans, I'm going to be here. So I have no plans. Well, actually, that's not true. I went out yesterday, but there was no tennis on, so I went out. But I have no plans tomorrow. Well, actually, no, this is my plan. I'm doing my plan right now. We're here. If you have nothing to do, we'll be live. So feel free to join if you're bored. Will Cruz join the US Open? I think he's going to be in the qualies of the US Open, I'd guess. I don't think he's going to get a wild card to the main draw. I work night shift to watch your odd shift. Hey, well, we do the graveyard shift every day. Going paddleboarding at the lake. Nice. Packing to travel to the Philippines. There you go. Wood burning. Nice. Chill and eat comfort food. Cool. Wood burning art. Ooh, that sounds fancy. Yeah, this is actually north of Cincinnati, isn't it? But that's where it was raining. Holiday for 2 weeks in Croatia. Ooh. Nice. Finishing. Okay, that's great. Enjoy that safely and responsibly. Any thoughts on having brief profiles or some better known chat members? I mean, that's a cool idea, but I think everybody kind of knows everybody who's a regular. But the problem with that is if I do it for 1 or 2 or 3, there's hundreds of people that come here all the time. So I don't want to make hundreds of profiles, and I don't want to feel like someone's getting left out. So that would just open. I think that would just be more trouble than it's worth. And look, I appreciate everybody who's here all the time, but I don't want to be like, oh, we're going to do profiles for better known chat members, and then I miss people, and then I feel bad, and then there's people that are not even people in the chat that have been watching for years, and I don't want them to feel excluded, right? So I don't want to do that. I think it would be too much trouble. It'll cause too much trouble. Do I have an Instagram? Yeah. The Tennis Talk is the Instagram. Fonseca Eala mixed doubles. And there's a Stars Open fan week. Yeah, it should be fun. We'll watch the mixed doubles event we did last year. It was a lot of fun. Everybody knows the regulars anyway. I think everybody pretty clued in. What's my profession? I don't have one at the moment. Well, actually, no. Architecture. I'm a qualified building drawer. I draw buildings. Not anymore. Not at the moment, but... And I'm a tennis coach, but I'm not doing that either. Now I'm a professional yapper. What happened to Ruse? Just woke up. She got like a medical timeout just before the rain delay on it, like a ankle. She didn't roll her ankle or anything, but it might have just been a bit of wear and tear. Yeah, professional chit chat. That's it. But we should be back in about 10 minutes. The rain has stopped. I'll see if Ruse can come back with a vengeance. Oh, thank you, Andy, for the 10 gifted as well. Sorry, I missed that. Thank you. Ramon, thank you for the $10. Thank you for the donation. Any update if Sinner's playing the US Open? He is at this stage, yeah. No update that he's not. There's no update that he's not. You're so smart. I didn't know you're an architect. Now you've gifted us with a great community. Yeah, look, I'm an architect. I built whatever this is. I accidentally built this. This was a happy accident. There's still a medical timeout thing near Ruse on the screen. Yeah, so basically that means that she's playing injured. So anybody that gets a medical timeout, that comes up because it shows that like they're injured, or they've had treatment. So just so that you know that, oh, okay, Ruse's got an injury. We had the same with the other last week when she got injured. It was on the screen because it just makes it easier to see that, oh, okay, that's a problem. It's not why she's losing because she's down a set and 2 breaks before she got the medical timeout, but maybe she was hurt before that. We don't know. Maybe she was hurt like in the first set. We don't know how long this has lingered, but just to clarify that she is sore. Looks like a Swiss flag reversed. What's a medical kit? It's a medic. Isn't that a universal thing? I'm sure medical kits have to be universal, right? Like that symbol has to be universal because if you're in another country and somebody's like, I need a medic or I need some medical attention, and then you can't find the bag because it's a different thing, I'm pretty sure it's universal. At least that symbol. It is? Yeah. Okay, good. Singapore have a newly upgraded 500. Yeah, they do. Could have had it for both Eala and Bencic the other day. Yeah, we didn't know that Bencic was injured though. Like we knew Bencic had tape on her leg, but we didn't realize that she was injured, that she wouldn't be able to play the next match. That's why I think it was so shocking when she withdrew against Osaka, because it was like, against Coco, because it was like, oh, she was injured. Okay, we knew that she had tape on her leg, but we didn't know that it was bad. That it was that bad. And she didn't play a long match against Eala, so it was a little bit like, but she played a long match against Townsend, and that's what probably did it. So it was a little bit surprising when she withdrew. All right, they're coming back in about 5 minutes. 1 second, chat. The score of this match will continue. Yes, they don't start from scratch. They start from 30 love. All right. They should be coming back in about... I mean, the sun's starting to come out too, which is awesome. They haven't rescheduled the start time, so they're looking like it should be back in about 5. Play got suspended because of rain and lightning, and it will resume in about 15 minutes. Well, yeah, it should be resuming like now. Players should be coming out on court any second. Still fairly new to this. Why do some players choose? Why do some players choose to continue playing through acute injuries? Does finishing the game, even if it's leaning towards them losing, earn them some points? There is a penalty. I think there is a fine if you retire, or maybe it's a fine if you withdraw from a match before. I don't. There is something. To be honest, it's the simple answer is that competitive drive. That's why players play through injuries, because they're just too dang competitive, right, for their own good. And, they've just got, will and determination and all that stuff, that, grit and fight, right? I mean, if every player retired the second that they got hurt, they'd never play a match, right? We'd never see matches. So it's probably more that players just, they might have an acute injury, but they're like, let's keep going. Let's push through. Let's, get through it. Mind over matter, right? Mind over body, right? That's sometimes to their detriment, right? Sometimes it makes it worse, but that's just they're competitive athletes. That their job is, if they get a little bit sore, that their job is to fight through it. I mean, like I said, anybody who if players just retired after every time they felt like they were in pain, they'd would never get a tennis match ended, because things happen like that all the time. But some players they should retire because of injuries. They shouldn't play through because it could get worse. But yeah, that's usually why. And there is a, I don't know if you retire. I think if you retire, you don't get a fine. But if you withdraw from a match, there's some penalty for that. But again, I mean, there might be some rules around that. Like if you withdraw before the match, 5 minutes before the match, you get a fine. If you don't, but again, that's withdrawing. Retiring from a match, players play through injuries because they're too competitive for their own good. All right, Anisimova and Sommers are back. The sun has come out. And the sun has reappeared. Is Nole at the same time? So Nole is coming on after the Anisimova-Sommers match. Yeah, they're coming back now. We're restarting now. Hey, thank you, Relax, for the jamming. Appreciate it. Finally, we're back. Serrano and Bartunka are after this one. No. McNally and Kalinskaya are playing on after this. They're next. They will be next. All right, here we go. Eala and Ruse are back. Nole will start after Anisimova and Sommes. So that could be in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour. Like, I don't know. Depends on how long they play. It's still a long... That could go 3 sets, that one. So, Ruse retired? Did she retire? Who said that? Who said that? If she didn't retire, the person who said you're gonna be gone forever, so just you better be right. She didn't? Okay. Yeah. Get rid of that guy. Get him out of here. Where's Dutchy? Dutchy, we need Dutchy to confirm. It's on the website? Hang on, let me check. My computer's freaking out. Let me check. Dutchy's looking. All right, Dutchy's on the case, chat. Don't worry, chat. We'll get to the bottom of this. That would be really annoying. That would be very frustrating. All right, unban that guy. Bring him back. Let him back in. All right, come back. Rose walkover. Google says so. We gotta get confirmation on this. Google says a lot of things. Chat, you gotta send me more than just yes, she did. Okay, but you gotta send me official proof. So we can confirm, because that's a big deal. You gotta send me proof. I'm trying to find proof at the same time. Hang on. Everyone's using Trust Me Bro. I don't like Trust Me Bro, all right? All right, thank you, Dutchy. See, at least Dutchy's sending shit. All right. There it is. Let that guy back in. That's all right. Let that guy back in. Why is this rain delay thing not working? Hang on. Why is this not turning off? Hang on. Why is it still raining? All right. So that means, where are we? Rosé's gone. Eala wins. So yeah, so that ankle problem was clearly a serious problem, which sucks because Rosé was competitive. That was a competitive match. But unfortunately she is unable to finish. And Eala's into the third round. She'll take on either Anisimova or Sommes, who are going at it as we speak. Oh, that's a bummer. So Eala fans, you can go to sleep. You're free to leave. It could have been an hour. Why didn't they announce this stuff earlier? This is... Not that it wouldn't change my plans, but it's sort of frustrating that they kind of like waited till the end of the rain delay to be like, by the way, she's not coming back. You're like, oh, what? That's annoying. That's not fun. You know? All right, hang on. Let me try and fix my thing. I don't know why the rain's not turning off. There we go. All right. It was just broken. There we go. All right, Rosé retires. And Eala's into the third round. I mean, look, Eala was taking over. It was competitive. Rosé was competitive. But Eala too good. Rosé retired, yeah. Thank you, whoever wrote that first. Apologies for sending you to the gulag, but I'm sure you're fine. You just need people come in here and say shit all the time, and it's usually people not like just making stuff up. I mean, there was a guy in here talking about collecting hair, so that's where we're at. All right. So yeah, Sonmez versus Anisimova. Winner plays Eala. That is confirmed. Players back though for everyone else. Yeah, everyone else is playing. Djokovic comes on after Anisimova, so we've still got some time to wait for that. 6-love, 6-1, 3-love was competitive. Yeah, I think people get confused. Like, you can have a competitive match, but the scoreline be one-sided. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think people get confused and they look back and they're like, oh, it was like she only won one game. But you're looking at it from here, you're like, oh, you're looking at it from too far back. If you zoom in a bit, there was a couple of 30-all games. There was some competitive rallies there. She was decent. She just wasn't winning the clutch points. Kind of like Venus yesterday, right? Venus 2-2, but there was a lot of close games. But that doesn't reflect on the score sets, right? Like, you can have a competitive match that's one-sided, right? It just depends on which points you win. But Ruse was putting up a fight. She was putting up a fight. I mean, she broke in the first game of the match, right? I mean, I understand. I play tennis. Didn't follow here. Oh no, that's all right. Yeah, no. The score. Yeah, I mean, if you're coming in and looking at the score, then fair enough. But no, it was. Yeah. It was a lot more. There was a few good rallies there, and she definitely put up a fight the best she could, but clearly overwhelmed by her injury. All right, let me just we'll do a recap of this. We might even watch the end of Anisimova. We might watch the end of Anisimova Sonmez. Because this is what we should have watched that from the start. I knew we should have watched it from the start. Anyways. So Eala is through to the third round of Cincinnati. She gets through in a bit of a retirement win, so it wasn't a full match, unfortunately, for both players. But let's go see what happened, because Alex was playing really well. All right, so you can see there, 6-1 3-love retirement was the result. Eala lost the first game of the match and then won 9 games in a row. But there was a medical timeout towards the end before the rain delay. So, yeah, it was a bit of a shame. But 12 winners, 3 errors from Eala. Very, very clean on the ground. 10 winners, 14 errors from Ruse. So, yeah, a few errors there. Her first serve, Ruse, was also a bit of a problem. She wasn't winning many points on serve. As you can see there, only won 8 points on her serve and got broken a bunch. Didn't hold serve for the entire match either, which was a shame for Ruse. But Eala, what a fight back after an initial scare at the very start of the match. All right, so you can see there, first game of the match was a bit of a marathon, and Ruse breaks first game, but then gets broken straight away in the second game, and then Eala started going on a run. She gets the break, goes up 3-1. She then has a bit of a tough game to keep the break, but ends up holding, gets a 4-1, then breaks again to go to 5-1, and then holds and wins on her first set point to win the first set 6-1 and win 6 games in a row. And then the second set, Eala breaks straight away, then holds to love in the second game, then breaks again. And then after that second break, when it was 3-love, that's when Ruse got the medical timeout. She got like her ankle taped. It was like her right ankle. She had that taped. They did play a couple of points after that before it started raining. So Eala got to 30-love. Then it started raining. And then during the rain delay, it was probably about an hour of rain. She didn't return to the court, Ruse. And Eala gets a win. Now she's going to take on either Anisimova or Sonmez. So nice win there, and probably a much needed, I guess, easy match for Eala, because we've seen over the last couple of weeks she's played some real tough matches, and even in Canada, the first 2 matches they were against lower ranked opponents, but she had to grind through them. So probably a bit of a relief to play, less than an hour and not super physical match in these hot conditions. And now she can be fully prepared for either Sonmez or Anisimova. By the time this video comes out, you probably know who she's playing. But yeah, needs to be fully fit for both of those players because those players are both very, very dangerous this year. So we'll see what happens. But let me know below. How do you think Eala's going to do in this tournament? She has a pretty tough draw. She's got Anisimova potentially in the next round. Noskova is also lurking. So yeah, there are some big names that are in the way, but we'll see what happens. She does get through this one though in about an hour, and yeah, rain affected match, but she gets through without having to break too much of a sweat. All right. Sonmez and Anisimova are battling at the moment. They are in a battle. No worries. If you are leaving, don't forget to sub on the way out. Thanks for sticking around. I know it's been a late one. Will Eala be the next possible match? So Eala's going to play on Monday. So she'll play Monday, which will be Tuesday morning, Philippines, Australian time. So, yeah. And if it's against Anisimova, it'll probably be a better time zone than it would be if it was some Sonmez at night, in the morning, sorry. So it could be this time on Tuesday morning this time, or it could be, sort of breakfast time for you guys and for me. It depends on who she plays. If she plays Sonmez, she won't be prime time. But if she plays, well, she might be. I mean, if the tournament might learn. But if she plays Anisimova, she'll it'll be it'll be prime time. And Nisimova's up 4-3, by the way. And Anisimova leads. Thanks, Cam. Good night. Early morning. Hey, see you later. We are watching Djokovic very shortly, so make sure you stick around if you want to watch Nole. And then after that, like I said, was kind of open to interpretation and open to suggestion because I don't know. I mean, it's going to rain, so I don't really want to sit around and watch too much more rain. Zverev Norrie's on the card, but that's late at night, so that might get cancelled if it rains. So yeah, things are a little bit open to suggestion. If there's any players that you particularly want to watch, we can cover it for you. I mean, Hodar's playing later as well, which is kind of interesting against Shapo. Fun for everybody. I mean, Shapo is a bit of a wild man, and Hodar's in great form, so maybe that could be on the card. That's obviously on my radar. Yeah. It's weird on the men's side because we just don't have those, we don't have Sinner and Alcaraz, so it's really, they're usually our go-to when we watch everybody around those guys, but because they're not here, it's really, some of these matches are a little bit harder to find, Djokovic being the exception. We watch him this week, but yeah. All right, what am I doing? All right, we will watch the once I figure out this thing. We will watch. We'll chuck on Anisimova versus Sonmez because that obviously is what that match is very important for this match. So. It is 15-all, and Nisimova's up 4-3. Rose retired due to a foot injury, unfortunately. There'll be too many matches to choose from tomorrow. Better to keep the schedules light. Today's schedule light. Yeah. I mean, look, like I said, Norrie versus US Open at home with your news. That's funny. I'm guessing you're joking because I am definitely not behind. Eala is ranked 20 in the seeds, 17 in the seeds for Cincy. Yeah. Yeah, Rose retired. Yep. Yes, she did. Unfortunately for her. Hopefully it's not. I mean, look, we're going to see a lot of retirements this week because a lot of players are going to prioritize the US Open for good reason. So anybody who has any injuries this week, like even if it doesn't seem serious, are going to withdraw. And this time over serving the match, we are about to finish. We're about to finish this match, and we're not even at that match. Since City Pass, he's not playing. He's playing tomorrow. Sonmez just got broken. So Djokovic will be coming up. I'll tell you though, what a match that'll be between Anisimova and Eala. That is a banger. That is a banger. And Anisimova is crushing Sonmez on this service game. I'll tell you, as long as we get to the Djokovic match, everything will be fine. Everything will be good because then we can work it out later. What we do. All right. Anisimova, 40 love. And the crowd's gone wild now. Now, I wonder when they're going to schedule it, though. That is going to be the interesting part. When will they schedule? Will they put it on prime time? I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Anisimova wins. All right. Another top 10 player who she hasn't played before on the cards, Eala. Sonmez, I mean, that was Anisimova got through that real quick. She had somewhere to be. All right, GG's. Nice win by Sonmez has been good this year, and she's been tough. We watched her against Dasha. All right, Anisimova will play Eala. Ooh, okay. All right. Sonmez had a good first win. She come back from a match point down to win the first round, and she put up a good fight. Against Anisimova for the first set, but Anisimova's powerful, which is something Eala's going to have to figure out real quick because Anisimova will not allow Eala to. She will not be bullied. Anisimova will not be bullied. The crowd might be another factor, but that's the X factor. I think the crowd might be the interesting factor because Anisimova does sometimes play. She could get distracted by it. It could be a problem. But yeah, another top 10 player, a different top 10 player as well for Eala. So again, interesting. Crowd will favor Anisimova. I don't know. It might be 50-50. That's where it might get strange for Anisimova because she might be coming out here going, this is my crowd. And then all of a sudden she's getting cheered on double faults. She can't go in there thinking that I'm in America, it's my crowd. many have done that, and many have been surprised. They don't underestimate the Filipino audience getting there. They're going to get there, and it's going to be a night match. I'd be very surprised unless Anisimova wants to play during the day, and she might have a bit of priority. I would be very surprised if it wasn't the night match. It's a primetime match, especially today with all the whole crowd being like how big the crowd was for Eala. Cincinnati would be crazy not to put this on primetime. Like that would be such a crazy and really a dumb decision not to put this on at the best time, right? Like that would be such a dumb decision. Yeah, center court night match. You got to do it, right? You got to do it. Going to be a banger for sure, yeah. If Eala reached number 16 in the WTA rankings before the US Open, that means she will not meet any of the top 16 before the fourth round. Yeah, yep, that's true. And some of them she won't meet until the quarterfinals. I think, or is it top 12? No, it's top 16, right? She can't meet any of them to the quarters, right? Maybe. I can't do the math in my head. I'm tired. Retired means loss. Gauff should not say she retired against Eala when she was losing and lost to Alex. Okay. I don't know what you're saying. Yeah, it's not a walkover, it's a retirement. There's a different walkover is when you don't show up to the match and it's before the match. I mean, you can use it for a retirement too, but no, retirement is mid-match. They retired mid-match. That's the term. They retired. So, retirement loss. Yeah. I tell you, Anisimova versus Eala is going to be a banger. Anisimova Sonmez just completed the match. Yep, they did. They sure did. We're just about to get to watch that too. I was like, we'll get to that in a second. And then it was over. Anisimova was like, no, you won't get here. This ain't going to be going for, it's going to be over by the time you're ready. I'm like, yeah, you got me. I wasn't ready. If they went 3, we would have watched the rest of the match. But Anisimova was in a hurry. Ruse retired because of the rain. No, it was not because of the rain. But it was during the rain delay, yes. And look, you can't blame her, right? I mean, look, she would have had to fight back to win this, which could have hurt her ankle more. Risk of worse injury. Plus, she would have potentially put herself in jeopardy of US Open, right? I mean, she doesn't want to risk herself. Like I said, the trying to play injured is just not a good idea at all. At this stage. Before a Grand Slam, it's so silly. Like, well, don't bother doing that, you know? And a lot of players who are going to have a little bit of injuries this week are going to retire this week to be ready for the US. You know, no one's risking injuries this week. Why would you risk injury? Sometimes it was 3-all, 15-40 break points, and 5 minutes later she lost 6-3. I know, right? It was over so quickly. The cutoff for seeds of the US Open is next Monday. Or Monday week. 24th. Can we watch Noskova? We're going to watch Djokovic. We're going to watch Djokovic. Who's coming up now? Gaboli's going 5. It might be going 3 though. So we might. I mean, I don't know. Depends on Nole's results. Ruse was about to lose anyway. Wise decision. Yeah. Look, if you put yourself in her shoes, right? Okay, you're down a double break in the second. You've down a set and a double break, and you've got an ankle injury, right? With a U.S. Open literally around the corner, why would she have? Like, there's no reason for her. Like, what? Okay, what does she do? She comes back with a bad ankle, and let's say she does win the match. She comes back from the dead. She plays another 2 hours, right? And potentially makes her ankle worse. And then she's forced to withdraw from the next match against Anisimova, which makes no sense to play. Like, why would she keep playing if she's injured? And then she might even risk not playing the US Open. So again, if you're her, this is the right decision. You're like, well, I'm probably unlikely to win anyway. By playing more, I could risk making myself worse and getting injured worse. There's a US Open. She also plays a lot of doubles. So doubles is also going to be a priority for her at the US Open, right? So, she doesn't want to risk that either. She made the right choice. It's hard. It's annoying because people are going to be like, oh, she quit because of the score. I mean, that was a factor, but she had an injury. So she made the decision not to play on because, God forbid, she hurts herself more before a US Open. Had she have not had a medical timeout and not been injured at all, you would have been like, that's weird. She just kind of like randomly quit. But the injury and it kind of, you go, yeah, okay, she's prioritizing the US Open. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. A lot of players are going to do that this week. We're going to see a lot of players randomly withdraw or retire anytime if they feel any sort of pain because next week is more important, right? So, I mean, look how many players are not even playing this tournament, right? Sinner's like, I'm not playing Cincy. It's like, wait, what? Like, because again, US Open is priority. I'm surprised Bencic is playing after what we saw last week with her injury. I thought, oh, she's not going to play until New York. She still might withdraw, but she's playing tonight, Bencic, so I guess she's okay. But it's just normal. It's going to happen. It happened before Wimbledon. It happened before the French. It happens before the Australian Open. It happens before US Open. Like, players will prioritize their body over a 1,000 result. Better safe than sorry. Exactly. You get it. All right. Now, we have the greatest player of all time coming up. We haven't watched Djokovic since Wimbledon. It's been a minute. We haven't watched Djokovic for a while. What the hell? Retirement without cause is surrender. Well, she didn't surrender. She had a cause. Her cause was her ankle. So she might have heard it more. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Look, again, I have no problem with making that decision. Her making that decision. I'm fine with that. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, Eala versus Anisimova. What a banger. What a banger. Another top 10 player has to go through the Eala gauntlet. Like, good luck. Many have failed. Like, her top 10 record, Eala, I mean, we talk about, like, she's been in form. I mean, her top 10 record, Eala, is ridiculous. Not just in recent times. She's been a very problematic player for most of the top 10. So Anisimova's about to find out. She's going to find out. She's going to find out that, like, I'm in America, but this isn't America. This is the Philippines in disguise. This is Manila. You're in Manila now. Doesn't matter if you're in Cincinnati. It's Manila. It's been renamed. She'll find out. If she doesn't know, she'll know. So Eala's record against top 10 players are 9 wins, 4 losses. That is ridiculous. 9-4. She's lost to Swiatek, Gauff, Pegula, and Raducanu, who are all top 5. So she doesn't lose to players that are not higher. Like, she's beaten everybody between number 4 and number 10. If you're in that range, she'll beat you. She doesn't lose to players that are. She only loses to the players that are sort of 4. What was it? 4, 4-2. Unless you're 4-2 in the world, she doesn't lose to you. She beats 3, she beats 5, she beats 8, she beats 10. She doesn't lose she only loses the 4-2. She beats everybody else. So if you're not 4 or 2, you're out. She's got you. I don't make the rules. That's just the rules, right? I'm just telling you what's up. It's gonna be great. I'm excited. It's gonna be a really fun match. Or even if it's not competitive, like there's a chance that Anisimova comes out and bullies Eala, right? I mean, we can see that's happened, right? She could come out and play like Noskova, right? But it's still going to be really interesting how Anisimova handles the moment, because it's going to be a very interesting moment. It's a very unique moment when you play against Eala. It's not. I feel like when you go to France and you play against a French woman in France, you're expecting the crowd to be biased. But when you go to when you're in America and you go to Cincinnati and you're American, you're going to play against your own people. It's supposed to be your crowd. But no, not when you're playing Eala. You're not in America no more. It's going to be really interesting. It's going to mess with your head. Like it's got to mess with your head, right? That's got to be annoying. Anyways, let's get to the next one, because we've got Djokovic taking on Taranti, which is a lot of fun. So jump on over here and talk amongst yourselves for a minute, and we will be back to watch the greatest player to ever lift a racket. But thanks for hanging in there. I know it's been a bit of a pain in the ass to be like, I could have gone to bed earlier. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. It's not my fault. I didn't make it rain. But yeah, unfortunately, maybe an hour of sleep wasted. But thank you for sticking around and hanging out, even though we just yapped for an hour. The yapping continues. Jump on over. We're going to watch Djokovic take on Taranti, but Eala wins via retirement, but she was still, she was in control. The writing was on the wall. She was up 6-1, 3-love. Ruse doesn't come back. She ends up retiring with a foot injury. Hopefully she's all right for the US Open. She's a fun player to watch, Ruse. I'm a fan of hers. She kind of is a little bit like Dasha, feisty retriever. But Eala too strong. She's going to play Anisimova in a couple of days. Let's get to see Djokovic.